Chapter 305, Chapter 305, Chapter 187, Preparations Before Leaving. Chapter 305, Chapter 187, Preparations Before Leaving. B0 see 0M after he had just finished cultivating. The faint sound clearly entered his ears. That seems to be Huang Qi's voice. What's wrong with him? Why did he say he can't hold on much longer? Could there be an enemy invading the pill medicine building? Lu Yun opened his eyes and was immediately shocked by the scene before him. This cultivation room had completely turned into a hell of slaughter, a bloody red hue everywhere, and his vision was completely obscured by killing intent. Stepping out of the cultivation room, the hallway outside was frozen by extreme cold, and more than half of the pill medicine building had almost turned into ice sculptures. Huang Qi was continuously using his true origin to block the spread of killing intent and cold, and he seemed to have exhausted too much, looking extremely tired. Seeing this scene, a bitter smile appeared on Lu Yun's face. I got careless. I forgot that my slaughter conception would emit killing intent while I was cultivating. If the slaughter conception were only 3rd rank or 4th rank, Huang Qi's strength could easily suppress it. Once it reaches 5th rank, especially when it reaches 70% of the 5th rank. Shaking his head slightly, Lu Yun roared in his Yuan High, and the vast aura origin transformed into more than a dozen golden tigers, surrounding the pill medicine building and roaring constantly. About half a cup of tea later, all the coldness and killing intent were finally extinguished. Phew! Huang Qi gasped heavily. He had been cultivating for 100 years, barely raising his martial arts conception to the 4th rank level. Under the near-peak 5th rank slaughter conception, he didn't suffer much, but trying to save the entire pill medicine building seemed extremely difficult. If not for Lu Yun coming out just in time, he didn't know how long he could hold on. Elder Huang, I'm sorry. I was too absorbed in my cultivation. I didn't expect it to cause such a big impact. It's a good thing you were here. Otherwise, the pill medicine building might not have been saved. Lu Yun looked at the somewhat embarrassed Huang Qi with an apologetic expression. As the master of the pill medicine building, accidentally damaging it during cultivation would become a sensational event. Fortunately, Huang Qi protected the pill medicine building. Also, it was lucky that Lu Yun didn't have enough energy value, so he came out in time. Huang Qi looked at Lu Yun resentfully, then bitter smiled. Master, I suggest you either find a good cultivation room or a place without people when you cultivate in the future. The pill medicine building can't withstand your destruction. Haha, 111, be careful next time. It'll be careful. Lu Yun said awkwardly. Elder Huang, can you arrange for someone to clean up? I will refine the remaining spirit herbs into pills. Hearing that, Huang Qi's resentment towards Lu Yun evaporated instantly. With such a master, how could the pill medicine building not prosper? With such a saint child, how could the Flying Spirit Martial Academy not grow stronger? Rest assured, Master, I will ensure that the pill medicine building will be restored to its original state and reopened for pill sales as soon as possible. Good. Lu Yun nodded slightly, his figure flashed, and disappeared in front of Huang Qi. The master is becoming more and more unfathomable. Huang Qi sighed, then began to arrange for the disciples to clean up the pill medicine building. Due to the powerful impact, everything inside the pill medicine building was in chaos, some even destroyed, and had to be organized. Huang Qi personally took charge of sorting out the jade vials on the crystal shelves. Thankfully, I held onto these pills with all my strength. Otherwise, the losses would have been enormous. Recalling the terrifying killing intent and extreme cold that had spread earlier, Huang Qi couldn't help but shudder. The alchemy room was also damaged, but not too seriously, and since there weren't many items inside, Lu Yun's aura origin moved. Some were completely destroyed, and those that weren't returned to their original places. Looking at the renewed alchemy room, Lu Yun shook his sleeves satisfactorily. Not bad, even cleaner than before. Indeed, it had become much cleaner, but Lu Yun seemed not to realize that the only things left in this huge alchemy room were an alchemy furnace and a stone platform for placing jade vials. Lu Yun didn't mind these things. In the alchemy room, the only thing that could catch his attention was the alchemy furnace. Looking at the huge alchemy furnace in front of him, Lu Yun stroked his chin and began to plan. He had a feeling that he wouldn't be able to stay in the martial academy for much longer, and he wouldn't be able to refine pills outside as well. It was not easy to find a pill furnace that could withstand the White Lotus flame. Even if he could find one, the cost would not be something he was willing to bear. With that in mind, Lu Yun secretly made up his mind to take the furnace with him when he left. However, before doing so, he needed to refine all the remaining spirit herbs into pills. Time slowly passed. 3 days later, 25 more bottles of pills appeared on the stone platform, including 3 bottles of top-tier 5th-grade pills. The jade bottles emitted a crystal-clear luster, while a trace of pill fragrance wafted out from them, enveloping the entire spacious alchemy room. At this moment, Lu Yun's entire focus was on a blue scroll in his hands. The Dragon Power Pill, a 6th-grade pill, could increase one's physical strength by 10,000 gene. The first pill provided the most significant effect. The second pill's effect would be halved, and the third pill's effect would be nearly negligible. Nevertheless, a pill that could increase a martial artist's physical strength by 10,000 gene was indeed worthy of being a 6th-grade pill. After memorizing the pill recipe, Lu Yun reached out and grabbed the most extravagant and beautiful jade bottle in his hand. This was the Origin Extreme pill, one of the 2 top-tier 5th-grade pills. Lu Yun opened the bottle, and a faint golden light emerged. The pill fragrance in the alchemy room instantly became even more intense. There were 6 pills with pill patterns inside. With Lu Yun's 6th-grade alchemy technique and his 4th-grade White Lotus flame, the success rate of refining top-tier 5th-grade pills was only 60%, which showed the difficulty of refining such high-grade pills. Next, he would attempt to refine the even more challenging 6th-grade pill, the Dragon Power Pill. There was only one set of ingredients for the Dragon Power Pill. If the refinement failed due to carelessness, it would be a significant loss. To be on the safe side, Lu Yun needed to improve his alchemy technique a little further. It didn't take long for him to refine 10 Origin Extreme pills. The refinement of an ordinary Origin Extreme pill yielded 1,500 energy values. The refinement of a top-grade Origin Extreme pill yielded 2,000 energy values. After refining all 10 Origin Extreme pills, 18,000 additional energy values appeared on his panel. Energy value, 23,000, automatically increases by 8 energy values daily. Pill refining technique, grade 6, 1%. The alchemy technique for level 6 required 2,000 energy values to improve by 1%. It seemed that the current amount of energy values on the panel might not be enough, so Lu Yun refined another bottle of top-tier 5th-grade pills. Energy value, 52,000, automatically increases by 8 energy values daily. Pill refining technique, grade 6, 1%. Begin the upgrade. Energy values were rapidly consumed, and an image of a middle-aged man in gray refining pills appeared in his mind. Lu Yun focused entirely on the man, as if he had turned into the gray-clothed, middle-aged man himself. About an hour later, energy value, 32, automatically increases by 8 energy values daily. Pill refining technique, grade 6, 27%. Today's consumed energy values will be earned back tenfold, or even 100-fold in the future. Lu Yun was resolute vowing to become a diligent and dedicated alchemist in the future, earning back all the energy values spent on improving his alchemy technique. With a flip of his palm, the white lotus flame began to burn again. The refinement of the 6th grade pill, the Dragon Power pill, had officially begun. One day, outside the pill medicine building, the sky was filled with thundering lightning. Huang Qi stepped out of the pill medicine building upon sensing the powerful lightning arcs in the sky. He looked up to see a golden lightning bolt rapidly approaching. In the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, there was only one person capable of controlling such a level of lightning. That person was Lei Kang. Chapter 306, Chapter 306, Chapter 188. He-Lu, Departure. Chapter 306, Chapter 188. He-Lu, Departure B0 Zenvel. C0M. Elder Lei, what brings you to my pill medicine building? Huang Qi's gaze fell on the Lei King standing before him, as he slightly bowed his hand. In the past, Elder Huang was always busy, almost always hard at work, in the alchemy room. It seems that the rumors were not true. Ha! With the presence of the boss, why should I worry? Huang Qi responded with a faint smile. Ever since Lu Yun became the boss of the pill medicine building, he had monopolized all spirit herbs above the 4th grade. Huang Qi, a 4th grade alchemist, basically had no chance to refine pills. As for those of 3rd grade and below, in his status, he naturally disdained to refine them. So, he ended up being idle. Not exactly idle. He was still in charge of all the major and minor affairs of the pill medicine building. He was quite satisfied with this condition. No one visits lofty halls without a cause. You must be here to find our boss. Huang Qi laughed. Elder Lei, am not wrong, am I? Haha, you old fox. Lei Kang's expression became serious, and he bowed his hand. Indeed, I do have urgent matters to discuss with the Saint Child. Could you please notify him? The boss is currently refining pills. Allow me to report first. With that, Huang Qi went upstairs. If it were the common visitors, Huang Qi would absolutely not disturb Lu Yun. However, Lei Kang was one of the most powerful figures in the Golden Body realm of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy. His visit to Lu Yun must be for important matters. Therefore, it could not be delayed. He was in possession of the token to enter the alchemy room, granting him free admission. Squeak! Just as he was about to enter, he saw the door to the alchemy room slowly opening. Elder Huang. Looking at Huang Qi, who appeared outside the alchemy room, a trace of surprise flickered in Lu Yun's eyes. He quickly blocked the other's line of sight and closed the door right away. Huang Qi did not notice Lu Yun's subtle actions and just asked with anticipation, "Boss, were you successful in refining the 6th grade pill?" Lu Yun had been refining 5th grade pills one after another recently, achieving unexpectedly high success and quality rates. Therefore, he had high hopes that Lu Yun could successfully refine the 6th grade pill. I failed. Lu Yun shook his head, his face full of regret. Huang Qi's face showed a trace of disappointment. He thought to himself, as expected, it's not so easy to refine a 6th grade pill. It seems that I was too eager. Then Lu Yun waved his sleeve, and a flash of light followed by the appearance of more than 30 jade bottles. These are all the pills I've refined lately, including both 4th grade and 5th grade pills. Among them, one bottle contains top-quality 5th grade pills. I'll leave them all in your care. Seeing so many pill bottles, including the top-quality 5th grade pill, Huang Qi's heart felt incredibly refreshed. With these, the pill medicine building would not lack pills for some time in the future. You've worked hard, boss. I will command the disciples of the pill medicine building to continue collecting other spirit herbs. Huang Qi, trembling slightly, stowed these pills away. Seeing Huang Qi's excited state, Lu Yun couldn't help but chuckle. If he knew that ID kept more than half of the pills for myself, as well as turning the 6th grade dragon power pill into my own energy, thinking of this, Lu Yin shook his head slightly. After all, the pill medicine building was still making a profit. Outside of Lu Yun, very few alchemists could achieve a 50 to 60% success rate with 5th grade pills and above. Moreover, almost all of Lu Yun's pills were top quality. So, Lu Yun didn't feel guilty in the slightest. Elder Huang, for quite a while from now, I might not be in the Martial Academy. All the affairs of the pill medicine building will have to rely on you. Huang Qi solemnly nodded, then said, "By the way, boss, Elder Lei is waiting for you. He's been waiting outside for some time." "Elder Lei is looking for me?" A touch of confusion flitted through Lu Yun's eyes. To his memory, he had little dealings with this Lei Kang. Could it have anything to do with what the dean said last time? He remembered at the last elders' assembly in Straight Sun Hall, the dean had mentioned that he shouldn't leave the Martial Academy within 1 or 2 months. He had been waiting for almost 2 months with no news. He had been planning to discuss the matter of his departure with Yi Xingchen soon after coming out of seclusion. But now, Lei Kang had come to him, unavoidably making him wonder. Seeing Lu Yun come out with Huang Qi, Lei Kang gave a faint smile. It's been several days, yet the Saint Child's strength has increased even further. This is indeed the fortune of our Flying Spirit Martial Academy. While speaking, he carefully watched Lu Yun, trying to discern something from his demeanor. Unfortunately, after Lu Yun's recent breakthrough, his spiritual power had greatly increased, and the realm and strength he had broken through were all under his control. His aura was concealed. Even though Lei Kang was at the peak of the Golden Body realm, if he didn't use spiritual power to carefully investigate, he couldn't discern much. Some people are precisely because you can't see clearly that they appear to be profound and unfathomable. Elder Lei flatters me. Lu Yun responded with a faint smile, then asked, "Is it the dean looking for me?" "Haha, precisely." Lei Kang laughed heartily. Lu Yun made a gesture of invitation, saying, "In that case, Elder Lei, please lead the way." "Very well, Saint Child, follow me." With those words, thunderbolt-like golden light flicked, making a whooshing sound. Where Lei Kang had been standing, only an afterimage was left. Lu Yun gave a faint smile. The purple thunderbolt crackled, and Lu Yun followed along. Seeing the 2 afterimages left at the spot, Huang Qi shook his head and sighed. "Seems like something big is about to happen. But what does this have to do with me?" Seeing that not only did Lu Yun not fall behind, but was also getting closer, Lei Kang showed a touch of surprise on his face. Not only is his combat power astonishing, even his speed is so fast. Chapter 307, Chapter 307, Chapter 188. Lu, Departure _2, Chapter 307, Chapter 188. Lu, Departure _2B0 C0M, however, this is not enough. Immediately, his speed greatly increased, and he transformed into a thunderbolt disappearing into the sky. This time, he will be going out with Lu Yun, and he wanted to test Lu Yun's abilities. He had some understanding of Lu Yun's combat power beforehand. His strength was astonishing, surpassing the limit of the late Golden Body realm. However, strength does not equate to actual power. The peak fighters of the Golden Body realm are comprehensive in strength, speed, and martial arts conception. Those who are close to the Rune Seed realm are even more scary in terms of strength, and relying solely on strength would lead to a miserable defeat. After some time, Lei Kang looked back again. A pair of eyes flashing like thunder showed a stunned expression. Lu Yun was closely following him, and what's more, his face bore a relaxed look. Such powerful strength and speed, if his martial arts conception. Lei Kang dared not continue his line of thought. The combat power of the late Origin Fluid realm was comparable to the peak of the Golden Body realm. He found it hard to believe, but deep down he had to accept the reality. Hovering above the Strait Sun Hall was a black boat. They arrived at the Strait Sun Hall. Given their status, they do not need to report and can enter directly. Yi Xingchen was there at the moment, along with several Golden Body realm elders and over a dozen academy students. 7 of them were veteran students, all in the Origin Fluid realm. The other 3 were in the Transforming Origin realm. Lu Yun recognized them as Bai Haoxuan, Gu Yuan, and Bai Li. What caught Lu Yun's attention was another person in the hall. This person, like Yi Xingchen, had an indeterminable depth of power. "Greetings to the dean." Lu Yun bowed. All of a sudden, all eyes in the hall turned towards him. Yi Xingchen replied with a mild smile, "I just informed Lei Kang to fetch you. Didn't expect you to arrive that fast. Do you need something, Dean?" Lu Yun's face remained unchanged, while he quietly observed the middle-aged man standing next to Yi Xingchen. At this moment, Yi Xingchen was like an old willow tree on the verge of death, and the middle-aged man was like a midday sun rising high in the sky. However, the dying willow seemed to emit an endless vitality. As Lu Yun examined the middle-aged man, the man was also examining Lu Yun, his tranquil eyes rippling. Instead of answering Lu Yun directly, Yi Xingchen turned to the middle-aged man beside him and introduced, "Lu Yun, this is Elder He Lu from the Central Province Distant Martial School." Then he pointed at Lu Yun. "This is my Martial Academy's Saint Child, Lu Yun." Upon hearing these words, He Lu looked genuinely surprised. Looking at Lu Yun, his gaze subtly changed. "So you are Lu Yun?" Upon setting foot in Ling Province, I have heard more than once about a saint child from the Flying Spirit Martial Academy. Seeing you now, you truly stand out from the crowd. "Elder, he is too kind." Lu Yun respectfully saluted. Although the Origin Martial Academy is the head office of all academies in Morijin, there is no actual subordination between them. As the saint child of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, his status is comparable to that of the other party. Given his status, there was no need for Lu Yun to show respect, just maintain a superficial courtesy. Unfortunately, this world values martial arts. Even within the Morijin Imperial Court, status and identity are based on strength. As an elder of the Martial Academy, He Lu's strength and field vision far exceed that of the average rune seed realm. At his young age, Lu Yun had such a deep foundation. Even compared to those top-ranking saint children from Central Province, he was not inferior in any way. After the two got to know each other, Yi Xingchen said, "The Imperial Court is preparing to confront Hundred Sect. Demon Suppression Army is leading. The martial academies of each county in the 13 provinces need to send strong fighters and students as reinforcements. After some consideration, I decided to have you, Lu Yun, lead the Flying Spirit Martial Academy team, with Elder Lei assisting. What do you think, Lu Yun?" Upon hearing these words, He Lu was absolutely shocked. With his strength, he could easily see that Lei Kang had reached the ultimate limit of the Golden Body realm, extremely close to the Rune Seed realm. On the other hand, Lu Yun, a talented monster, showed great progress and strong combat power, but compared to Lei Kang, who was extremely close to the Rune Seed realm, he was far behind. Despite this, the Flying Spirit Martial Academy team was to be led by Lu Yun, with Lei Kang assisting. This detail in arrangements prompted He Lu to take another careful look at Lu Yun. Could it be that I have overlooked something special about this Lu Yun? Although Lu Yun was the saint child of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy with a high status, in special situations, status and identity are not as important as strength. The battle with Hundred Sect was a major crisis. Without absolute strength, it is difficult to guarantee the safety of a team. Yi Xingchen of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy was a sly fellow, quite infamous even in Central Province. This arrangement meant either Lu Yun had something special that went unseen, or there was something more to it. A war with 100 Sect. Lu Yun did not immediately reply, but asked for more details. When will we set off? Will it be a total war or a local war? How will each martial academy join? What benefits will our martial academy gain if we win? Being the saint child, Lu Yun would unconsciously act in the best interests of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy. Moreover, he did not know much about 100 Sect. He needed to have a general understanding first. Chapter 308, Chapter 308, Chapter 188. Hilu, Departure S. Chapter 308, Chapter 188. Hilu, Departure SB0 Zenvel. C0M. Just as Yi Xingchen was about to speak, he was stopped by Hilu. President Yi, let me explain this. He then looked around at everyone in the hall, finally stopping on Lu Yun and smiling faintly. Actually, I would have told you the specifics even if you didn't ask. The purpose of this war with the 100 Sect is to deter them, preventing them from wantonly gaining power in Morijin and openly colluding with demon beasts. So even if it's not an all-out war, we have to make them tremble in fear. This time, the Demon Suppression Army will take the lead, directly restraining the 100 Sect's main force, while our martial academies will serve as auxiliaries, responsible for ambushes and containment. If your contributions in this war are significant, not only will you be rewarded, but your respective academies will also receive rewards from the royal court, including but not limited to spirit veins, pills, cultivation techniques, and so on. Lu Yun silently nodded. He then asked, what is the strength of the 100 Sect? The 100 Sect is like a centipede that never dies, all because of their deep foundations. Some of their sects even have formidable heavenly human realm experts. Heavenly human realm. Upon hearing this, everyone in the hall furrowed their brows. Although they had never seen a heavenly human realm expert, they could still imagine one. Such a powerhouse could easily tear through the void and annihilate a rune seed realm cultivator as if squashing an insect. In that case, won't our entire army be easily annihilated without even knowing what the enemy looks like? Lu Yun voiced his biggest concern. There aren't that many heavenly human realm experts, and they won't take action easily. Lu shook his head and laughed. Furthermore, the 100 Sect has more than just heavenly human realm powerhouses. Morijin has even more. Upon hearing this, Lu Yun's heart became more resolute. If no heavenly human realm experts took action, it's much better as safety would be significantly improved. Otherwise, even his instant horizon ability would be useless against such legendary powerhouses. All right, if you have no other questions, then follow me now. Everyone nodded slightly at his words. At this moment, Yi Xingchen suddenly looked at Lu Yun and said, Lu Yun, although the Flying Spirit Martial Academy has you as its main force, if there are special circumstances, consult with Lei Kang. President, you can rest assured. Lu Yun nodded solemnly. Yi Xingchen slightly smiled. Then his gaze fell on Gu Yuan. You are my last disciple. I don't expect you to understand the world, but I hope you can go through this war, experience hardship, and find your own path. Gu Yuan's face showed determination. Disciple won't let master's expectations down. Yi Xingchen's gaze then fell on by Hao Xuan, Bailey Yi, and the other Martial Academy disciples. You are all the geniuses and pride of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, as well as its future. Through this mission, I hope you can all undergo transformation and progress. Finally, they'll be waiting for your return. President, take care. Upon leaving the Straight Sun Hall, Lei Kang, Lu Yun, and all the elders and disciples of Flying Spirit Martial Academy followed Lu onto the black boat. Although this black boat was not as big as the Flying Spirit Martial Academies, it was faster and quickly flew out of the Academy's grounds. Soon after, fleets of rolling hills passed by their eyes, and they quickly left the Spirit Martial Prefecture border. On the other side, Huang Qi felt that his burden had become much heavier since Lu Yun left. He went to the alchemy room to create pills to alleviate some of his future pressure. But when he opened the door to the alchemy room, he was dumbfounded. A large, empty alchemy room had been cleaned so neatly that only a desolate stone platform remained. Chapter 309, Chapter 309, Chapter 189, Golden Core Realm. Chapter 309, Chapter 189, Golden Core Realm B0 Zenvel. See 0M Powerhouse, Demon Extermination Command. 3 days later, the Black Boat left Ling Province. At the East Sun Grand Canyon, the temporary station of the Demon Suppression Academy. One black boat after another floated in the sky, creating an incredibly spectacular scene that made the sky feel heavy and overcast. Especially when seeing the gigantic black boat at the top, Lu Yun felt a strong sense of suffocation. The aura emanating from it seemed like it could devour his entire spirit at any moment. Seeing Lu Yun's changed expression, Lu asked curiously, "Your face looks terrible. What's wrong?" "I noticed that the black boat in the deepest part of the sky is magnificent, so I took a glance at it. I didn't expect it to nearly swallow my spirit. What's the reason for this? I hope, Elder, he can clear my confusion," Lu Yun said seriously. Hearing this, Lu wasn't surprised and just smiled faintly. "We are currently riding a superior profound boat, and that one over there is a superior spirit boat. It's perfectly normal for your spirit to be devoured when you try to probe it." Superior spirit boat. Lu Yun's expression changed dramatically. He knew about spirit boats. Above black boats were treasure boats, and above treasure boats were spirit boats. He had never even seen a treasure boat before, and now he saw a spirit boat, a superior spirit boat, no less. A superior spirit boat. Even a strong, heavenly human realm expert can't damage it. And there are 10 such superior spirit boats in the Demon Suppression Army. That's the real power of Mori Jin, Lu said, revealing a smile on his face. This was a genuine joy emanating from Lu's heart from Origin's strength. After some conversation, Lu Yun learned from Lu that the troops stationed in the East Sun Grand Canyon were just one part of the Demon Suppression Army, known as the Far Suppression Legion. This superior spirit boat also served as the Far Suppression battleship, capable of accommodating 100,000 Demon Suppression Army soldiers. At the same time, the various martial academies of the 36 prefectures in Ling Province were responsible for assisting the Far Suppression Legion. When the Spirit Martial Prefecture's team arrived, all the teams from the other 35 prefectures were already there. In addition, many alchemists from the Alchemist Alliance were also gathered here. The Far Suppression Legion, the teams of 36 prefecture martial academies, and the alchemists from Ling Province's Alchemist Alliance were all located in different areas. Under Lu's guidance, Lu Yun and the others went straight to the area where the Martial Academy's teams were gathered. Among the Martial Academy disciples, Lu Yun hardly knew anyone, let alone the elders from other academies. In fact, each Martial Academy's disciples were independent and rarely interacted with the others unless they had fought side by side before. So when Lu Yun arrived, someone in the crowd called his name. Following the sound, he saw Lu Wuhan, Liang Shaowen, and Zhang Kuang all smiling at him. Lu Yun was quite surprised. He shared a great affinity with these people, especially Liang Shaowen, as they had just fought side by side outside the great wilderness major city not long ago. After digesting the results from that battle, Liang Shaowen had already advanced to the late stage of the transforming origin realm. Both Lu Wuhan and Zhang Kuang were not far behind, as their auras indicated they were close to reaching the late stage of the transforming origin realm as well. Of course, their cultivation levels in the transforming origin realm would be considered the weakest among the Martial Academy's teams. In view of this, Lu Yun didn't find it strange. This battle was simply an exercise for the Martial Academy's disciples. Moreover, each academy had several powerful Golden Body Realm elders as escorts. In Mori-jin, Golden Body Realm experts were considered top-tier fighters, even among the 100 sects. The term 100 sect was just a general term, and there were many weaker sects within. Among these sects, those in the Golden Body Realm were the most formidable fighters. In other words, people like Bailey Yi and Liang Shaowen would be considered the most talented disciples in some of the weaker sects among the 100 sects. As for the other Martial Academy's disciples, they were in the Origin Fluid realm. Even more so, Lu Yun sensed quite a few Golden Body Realm experts among them. Among them, the auras emanating from a few individuals even made Lu Yun feel apprehensive. To know that Lu Yun's current slaughter conception had already been raised to 70% of the 5th rank. In overall strength, he could even rival some of the Golden Body Realm peak experts. However, in the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, not many elders were in the peak of the Golden Body Realm. But now, among the many Martial Academy disciples, Lu Yun had discovered heavenly pride figures of this caliber. Looking in the direction of those auras, he saw that their faces appeared relatively young, looking to be around 20 years old. Those must be the most outstanding heavenly pride figures of Ling Province. Upon breaking through to the Golden Body Realm, one would immediately have a lifespan of 200 years. For those at the peak of the Golden Body Realm, their lifespan would be 300 years. Even if they were in their 40s or 50s, they could maintain their appearance to look like they were in their 20s. However, judging from their abundant vitality and subtle aura of invincibility, these young men's actual ages were most likely similar to their external appearance. In summary, through this gathering, Lu Yun truly understood the difference between the Flying Spirit Martial Academy and other martial academies. Before Lu Yun had risen to prominence, the strongest in the Flying Spirit Martial Academy were Qin Wuming and Gongliang Jin. Both had good talent and abilities, and their overall strength could compete with those in the late Golden Body Realm. However, both were at least 30 years old. 5 years ago, their cultivation level was only at the peak of the Origin Fluid realm. Comparing all these factors, the gap between them was enormous. In addition, Lu Yun also roughly observed the strength of the siders from other academies. Like Lei Kang, there were 7 others who had reached the limit of the Golden Body Realm. Besides them, there were 3 more auras that Lu Yun couldn't discern their depths even with his perception. Chapter 310, Chapter 310, Chapter 189. Golden Core Realm Strongman, Demon Removal Order _2, Chapter 310, Chapter 189. Golden Core Realm Strongman, Demon Removal Order _2B0 C0M. The only explanation is that these 3 people are not in the Golden Body Realm. Seeing the arrival of the team from Flying Spirit Martial Academy, many Academy elders and disciples showed expressions of surprise. Their gazes all fell on He Lu and Lu Yun. At this moment, Lu Yun and He Lu were walking side by side at the front of their team. Most of them didn't know who Lu Yun was, but they knew who He Lu was, an elder from Origin Martial Academy, and a powerful figure above the Golden Body Realm. How could such a scene not shock them? I heard that Flying Spirit Martial Academy has a saint child named Lu Yun who has an exceptional talent and possessed Golden Body Realm combat strength when he reached the transforming Origin realm. Could that young man be Lu Yun? Among the 36 martial academies in Ling Province, Flying Spirit Martial Academy is the second to have a saint child. I just don't know if the other party is worthy of their reputation. To be able to walk side by side with Elder He Lu, he must indeed have something special. Moreover, Elder He Lu personally went to Flying Spirit Martial Academy to meet our Ling province's newest rising heavenly pride. Some people in the martial academies whispered and discussed, their eyes filled with curiosity. Those 5 heavenly prides that made Lu Yun feel a bit apprehensive also looked deeply at Lu Yun, their eyes full of fighting intent. No wonder, with their talents and strength, they were not qualified to become the Martial Academy's saint child. Seeing Lu Yun now, it was impossible for them not to have any other thoughts in their hearts. As time passed, Lu Yun noticed more black boats heading towards the East Sun Grand Canyon. In Lu Yun's perception, these people had varying levels of cultivation, from transforming origin realm to golden body realm. Compared to the teams of various martial academies, most of these martial artists' auras were not as concentrated. These people are martial artists from various parts of Ling province. Some are from powerful families, and some are independent martial cultivators. They cannot adapt to the discipline of the Demon Suppression Army, so they may be integrated into our martial academy teams. Lei King said indifferently. As expected, it didn't take long for those martial artists to follow a powerful person towards the martial academy area. Seeing this, the pupils of various martial academies all showed disdain. Most academy disciples looked down on independent martial cultivators. This was a common phenomenon in Mori Jin, not limited to Ling province. Lu Yun didn't care about that. Independent martial cultivators might not practice as powerful cultivation techniques as academy disciples, but their survival skills could be unknown. At this moment, a terrifying aura came from the direction of the far suppression battleship, as if a burning sun was falling from the sky. Everyone sensed it and looked up. This figure was shrouded in golden light, an ordinary origin fluid and golden body. Realm martial artists couldn't see their face clearly. The transforming origin, realm martial artists could only vaguely see the outline of a golden sun. He Lu introduced them to the martial artists. He is one of our Origin Martial Academy's supreme elders, Sima Chongkong, a golden core realm true master. He's responsible for leading Ling province martial academies to work with the Far Suppression Legion in this battle. Upon hearing this, everyone quickly bowed their heads and greeted him solemnly. "Greetings, Master Chongkong. You may rise." The majestic voice fell, and a burst of brilliant golden light shone in the sky. Following the appearance of this golden sun-like figure, more powerful auras arrived quickly, 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3. With the appearance of each aura, dense golden runes flashed, causing the void to shake violently and making everyone tremble in their hearts. At least peak rune seed realm experts. Watching the sudden appearance of 3 golden figures in the sky, Lei Kang's eyes were filled with shock. He was only 1 step away from the rune seed realm, but he could barely guess the strength of these 9 powerful figures. Golden body realm martial artists, as long as they have a strong fleshly foundation and inscribe the heavenly Tao laws as runes, can successfully condense the rune seeds and undergo thunder tribulation to advance to the rune seed realm. Now, he had already inscribed enough runes, but he had always been unable to condense the rune seeds. Seeing these powerful rune seed realm experts, Lei Kang couldn't help feeling an inexplicable anticipation, looking forward to the day when he condensed rune seeds and successfully crossed the tribulation. After the arrival of these 3 peak rune seed realm experts, another 15 powerful auras descended. Their appearances were much more normal. However, each of them had golden runes on their bodies, and their powerful auras made the light to twist slightly. The true master, who was completely enveloped in golden light, slowly spoke from the highest point. "Everyone, our Mori Jin will soon be officially at war with the 100 sects. I'm sure you all understand very well that there is no room for compromise between us and the 100 sects. We must either wipe them out and eliminate Morigin's hidden dangers, or be held back by them, preventing Morijin from driving out the demon beasts and expand the territory for the human race. You all are from martial academies and are also Morijin martial artists, as well as part of the human race. In the upcoming battle, I hope you can all be victorious." His voice rang out like a giant bell, echoing through the sky and booming in everyone's ears. Lu Yun stood up straight, looking up to see the outline of this powerful individual. Unfortunately, he couldn't see through the golden light from the beginning to the end. Even the other 3 Peak Rune Seed Realm experts, he could barely see their golden runes full of law patterns. It seems that the gap between the Golden Body Realm and the Rune Seed Realm is much larger than the gap between the Origin Fluid Realm and the Golden Body Realm. Chapter 311, Chapter 311, Chapter 189. Golden Core Realm Strongman, Demon, Extermination Token _3. Chapter 311, Chapter 189. Golden Core Realm Strongman, Demon Extermination Token _3B0 Zinvel. C0M Lu Yun carefully analyzed his thoughts, deciding that in the upcoming battles, if he encountered a Rune Seed Realm expert, he must avoid confronting them head-on. To motivate everyone's enthusiasm for battle, this battle will be based on demon extermination points. Anyone who accumulates 10,000 points can gain an opportunity to enter the Flood Dragon Pool, regardless of your cultivation or talent. Whenever you have time available, you may enter. As soon as these words fell, regardless of whether they were Martial Academy disciples or Golden Body Realm Siders, or even independent cultivators, their expressions were full of excitement. The Flood Dragon Pool was an unparalleled treasure land for refining the body. As long as one soaked in it for an hour, there would be a leap of improvement in the physique, and strength could even increase by more than 10,000 pounds. The stronger the physique of a Golden Body Realm martial artist, the more runes they could engrave, the higher the level of the condensed rune seeds, and the greater their potential. However, it was not easy to enter the Flood Dragon Pool. It was not only about talent and strength, but also about luck and chance. Under normal circumstances, the Flood Dragon Pool would open once every 50 years. Even if you have an exceptional talent and strong background, you still couldn't enter. Now, Master Chang Kong's words undoubtedly gave the Martial Academy elders and disciples hope, the hope of entering the Flood Dragon Pool. Besides, before the end of the battle, the acquired treasures will belong solely to you, and they do not have to be handed over. Upon hearing this, everyone felt even more excited. Very few people could gather 10,000 demon extermination points. Most of them were aiming for spoils of war, especially for independent cultivators. Just by killing 100 sect martial artist, they could, with good luck, acquire a decent pill or even a powerful cultivation technique. This was the main reason they took the risk to join the battle against the 100 sect. Lu Yun stood by, watching coldly. In his opinion, killing enemies and collecting spoils of war were extremely normal things to do. Right after that, he saw countless golden lights flooding the sky like shooting stars, flying towards the Martial Academy area and landing on every martial artist. As the golden light approached, Lu Yun did not try to block it, concentrating his mind instead to see what the golden light was. The golden light got closer and closer. When it was about to touch him, he finally saw its true appearance. It was a golden rune, on which there were mysterious law patterns. As it touched his body, it directly entered it. Soon, a burst of information rushed into his mind. Killing an early-stage transforming origin Realm 100 Sect martial artist would earn you 1 demon extermination point. Killing a mid-stage transforming origin Realm 100 Sect martial artist would earn you 2 demon extermination points. Killing a late-stage transforming origin Realm 100 Sect martial artist would cam you 5 demon extermination points. killing a peak transforming origin realm 100 sect martial artist would earn you 10 demon extermination points. Killing an early stage origin fluid realm 100 sect martial artist would earn you 20 demon extermination points. Killing a peak origin fluid realm 100 sect martial artist would earn you 200 demon extermination points. Killing a peak golden body realm 100 sect martial artist would earn you 3,200 demon extermination points. After digesting the information in his mind, all the martial artists found an extra token in their hands. Demon Extermination Token. This Demon Extermination Token has established a connection with the Law Rune that has just entered your bodies. As long as you kill 100 sect martial artists below the Golden Core realm, the token will record your achievements. When the war is over, you can use the Demon Extermination Token to exchange the resources you need, including the chance to enter the Flood Dragon Pool. In addition, you can exchange demon extermination points with each other in private, but you must not violate the principle of equality and willingness. If there are any violations, it will not be pardoned. Touching the demon extermination token in his hand, Lu Yun couldn't help but marvel at the incredible abilities of Golden Core realm experts. At the same time, a great fear arose in his heart. If this Golden Core realm expert was an enemy, could he resist? Absolutely not. My strength is still insufficient. In this war, I must ensure that I acquire enough demon extermination points while keeping a low profile. As soon as he thought this, Lu Yin shook his head and chuckled bitterly. Could he really stay low-key? Being at the late stage of Origin Fluid Realm and being able to kill Golden Body Realm experts, it was impossible not to attract the attention of the enemy. However, if he couldn't even kill Golden Body Realm experts, how could he obtain more demon extermination points, let alone spoils of war? I have the Instant Horizon technique. As long as the opponent doesn't seal the space in an instant, I can escape in a split second. Moreover, I also have the Purple Black Star Robe, which can greatly weaken the attack of Rune Seed Realm experts. As long as I am not targeted by Golden Core Realm experts, I have a great chance of escaping. And Golden Core Realm experts are the true bosses who shouldn't notice me on the battlefield. Thinking of this, the fear in Lu Yun's heart gradually eased. Before the arrival of the Spirit Martial Prefecture team, the teams from the other prefectures' martial academies had already arrived. Chapter 312. Chapter 312. Chapter 190, Boundless Sea Region. Chapter 312. Chapter 190, Boundless Sea Region B0 Zenvel. C0M the battleship tore through the sky, leaving ripples in the void as it passed by. The auxiliary warships were at the forefront, all of them treasure boats, with many martial artists in the Golden Body Realm and Rune Seed Realm on board. The Far Suppression battleship was situated at the highest point in the deep sky, covering half of the horizon. Its majestic and powerful momentum was awe-inspiring. Various martial academies and independent martial cultivators gathered on another treasure boat. Lu Yun looked at the rapidly passing land beneath his feet, his eyes calm and unrippled. Going to war with the 100 sects would set off a chain reaction, and it definitely wouldn't end after just a few battles. They had to be prepared for long-term fighting. For example, the Far Suppression Legion was dealing with the White Lotus sect this time. The White Lotus sect was one of the more powerful sects among the 100 sects, with numerous subordinate sects and powers under it. These affiliated sects and forces had both strong and weak members. When scattered, they posed little threat, but once gathered, they became an enormous force. Therefore, the most powerful White Lotus sect was left for the Far Suppression Legion to handle. As for the elders and disciples of the martial academies, as well as independent martial cultivators, they were responsible for cutting off the powers of the affiliated sects of the White Lotus sect. In over 800 years since Morijin was established, it has grown to such a scale. The 100 sects have an even deeper foundation, having gone through a baptism of fire and operating for so many years in the great wilderness. I'm afraid their strength is far more complex than we thought. Lu Yun felt a sense of awe in his heart. As for the White Lotus sect, he had some dealings with them before, but they were all peripheral members. The only time he encountered them, he had narrowly escaped death. So in his heart, Lu Yun still held great fear for the White Lotus sect, despite the fact that his strength had grown significantly since then. As they ventured deeper into the great wilderness, the battleship turned south. To the west was the boundless territory, with endless mountain ranges, dense forests, and vast plains. Heavenly treasures were everywhere. However, countless demon beasts lurked, and dangers abounded. Even the demon-slaying army couldn't always advance unimpeded. To the south was the dwelling place of the 100 sects after being expelled from the central province, the Boundless Sea region. This is your first time going to the Boundless Sea region, right, Saint Child? A gentle voice came from behind. Upon hearing this, Lu Yun turned his head to look at the speaker, a young man who looked about 25 or 26 years old. His cultivation was at the peak of the Origin Fluid realm, not far from the Golden Body realm. What caught Lu Yun's interest was the young man's refined and powerful aura, revealing that his actual combat power was not as simple as his surface realm portrayed. However, Lu Yun wasn't surprised by this. After all, the Flying Spirit Martial Academy had a foundation of several hundred years, and it was natural to have highly talented individuals like this young man. Searching through his memories, Lu Yun realized that he didn't know the young man. He had only caught a glimpse of him in the Straight Sun Hall before they had gathered. May I ask which senior brother this is? I am Cho Guyun. In front of the Saint Child, I dare not call myself a senior brother. Cho Guyun said with a faint smile. Upon hearing this, Lu Yun smiled lightly. So it's senior brother Chiu. Lu Yun had heard of Chiu Gaian's name, and even seen it on the Myriad Phenomena Jade Wall. Chiu Gaian's ranking was not much lower than that of Qin Wuming. However, after Lu Yun entered the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, Chiu Guyun had been traveling outside. What puzzled him, though, was that he seemed to have no connection with Chiu Guyun, and it was unexpected that he would suddenly strike up a conversation with him now. When I returned to the Martial Academy, I heard about your victory over Qin Wuming and Gongliang Jin and how you possess strength comparable to the late stage of the Golden Body realm. A martial artist who can surpass one realm is considered a genius. Surpassing 2 realms makes one a heavenly pride. Surpassing 3 realms makes one a monstrous talent. You, Saint Child, have not only surpassed 3 realms, but also 1 major realm. Even the monstrous talents in the central province at your realm can't outshine you. Hearing this, Lu Yun remained indifferent, sensing that Chiu Guyun had more to say. Seeing Lu Yun's expression, Chiu Guyun continued, with your talent and strength, given some time, you will surely become a true master of the heavenly realm or even higher. Every true master or celestial human has a number of powerful followers and forces under them. Though I am not very talented, I have some experience and gifts. If you don't mind, Saint Child, I would like to become your follower. Lu Yun raised an eyebrow. Becoming someone else's follower essentially meant acknowledging that person as one's lord. And despite Chiu Gaian's prestigious status as a talented martial artist from the academy, he was willing to lower himself and become Lu Yun's follower. It had to be said, his sincerity was deep-rooted. However, Lu Yun had no intention of establishing a power base and had never considered recruiting followers. Thank you for your kind words, Senior Brother Chiu, but there's no need to become my follower. Lu Yun shook his head slightly, rejecting Chiu Gaian's proposal. He could see that Chiu Gaian's talent and strength were not weak. Among the numerous disciples of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, he had seen only Qin Wuming and Gong Liangjin could surpass Qiu Guiyun. However, that was far from sufficient to convince Lu Yun to accept him as a follower. Followers should at least be able to keep up with his pace and eventually provide assistance, rather than hold him back. Moreover, he truly had no interest in that side of things, especially after coming out of the fourth floor of the book collection pavilion. In the end, Morijin was not a place where he intended to stay for long. Simply put, Lu Yun just didn't think highly enough of the talents and strength of the people in the Flying Spirit Martial Academy. Even Gu Yuan, with his level 8 innate talent, would be unable to keep up with his pace. Having been rejected after offering to become a follower, Qiu Guiyun's face showed a hint of disappointment. He not only possessed noteworthy talent and strength, but also had a grasp of some Qi observation techniques. Chapter 313, Chapter 313, Chapter 190, Boundless Sea Region. Chapter 313, Chapter 190, Boundless Sea Region. B0 see 0M in his eyes. The destiny on Lu Yun's body was thick, almost becoming as powerful as a flood dragon. Most importantly, that elusive destiny seemed to be constantly improving, as if it could transform into a flood dragon at any moment. Today's flood dragon might just be a true dragon tomorrow. Staying close to such a monster not only increased one's blessings, but also promised immeasurable prospects in the future. However, just as he was about to speak, he was immediately rejected by the other party, and it would be strange if he wasn't disappointed. Senior Brother Qiu, rest assured, as long as I am still the Martial Academy's saint child, I will do my best to protect the safety of the Martial Academy's disciples. These words were meant for Qiu Guiyun, as well as for the other disciples of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy. This time, he was not only a disciple of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, but also the leader of the group, and he had the responsibility to ensure everyone's safety. Everyone felt warmed in their hearts upon hearing these words. Lei Kang and several other Martial Academy elders standing nearby nodded slightly. It was important for a saint child to have a strong talent and abilities, but it was also important to be able to shoulder responsibilities. If they only enjoyed the power of a saint child but were unwilling to shoulder corresponding responsibilities and obligations, they would not be of much help to the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, even if they grew up. Senior Brother Qiu, do you know much about the Boundless Sea Region? Although he had rejected the other party's proposal, Lu Yun still remembered the content of their previous conversation. Regarding the Boundless Sea Region, I have only heard some information. Du Guiyun pondered for a moment. The Boundless Sea Region is divided into the Inner Sea Region, Outer Sea Region, and Deep Sea Region. The Inner Sea Region is occupied by the 100 sects, mainly consisting of the Red Moon Demon Sect, Heavenly Sword Sect, and Green Cloud Sect. After hundreds of years of development, the Inner Sea Region gradually took on the appearance of a human habitat. However, due to a small population base, fewer talents were born, so the 100 sects often ventured deeper into the Morijin to plunder people and secretly search for children with exceptional innate talents. The Outer Sea Region, on the other hand, is ruled by sea beasts, inhabited by countless sea clan members. Among them are powerful demons that can easily leave the sea. Speaking in terms of heavenly and earthly spiritual qi, the Boundless Sea Region is no worse than the Morijin, even richer, and its area is much larger. Just a single Inner Sea Region is not smaller than the 9 provinces. The Outer Sea Region is essentially boundless and inhabited by countless different species of sea beasts. If it weren't for the Sea Clan being unable to leave the ocean for long periods, the 100 sects would have no foothold in the Inner Sea Region. As for the Deep Sea Region, it is an unknown area said to be shrouded by dense fog all year round, and even the Sea Clan dare not trespass easily. Upon hearing this, Lu Yun was astonished. He had only heard about the 100 sects beyond the domain, but he didn't know exactly where they were or any information about them in the book collection pavilion. It wasn't until he joined the Demon Suppression Army that he learned about the Boundless Sea region. Now, he learns from Chogyun that the Boundless Sea region is divided into Inner Sea, Outer Sea, and Deep Sea regions. Lu Yun couldn't help but marvel at the vastness of the world. The Ling province alone gave him a sense of endless vastness. There are 12 provinces in the Morijin, covering an even wider area, needless to say. However, unexpectedly, to the south of Morijin, there is the Boundless Sea region. Just one Inner Sea region is almost as vast as the Morijin. How big must the Outer Sea region and that mysterious Deep Sea region be? Lu Yun believed that the Boundless Sea region might be no smaller than the Great Wilderness, and perhaps even larger still. In any case, whether it is the Great Wilderness or the Boundless Sea region, it is an unknown area for the Morijin, which needs to be explored and expanded gradually. However, the main focus of Morijin's expansion is now the Great Wilderness. This war against the 100 sects may not be without the intention of reaching out to the Boundless Sea region. Senior Brother Chiu, what do you know about the Black Mountain sect? The Black Mountain sect will be their next target for attack. However, as to the strength of the Black Mountain sect within the 100 sects, he was completely clueless. As a responsible person, one does not need to know the enemy thoroughly, but at least a basic understanding of the enemy is required. This is also what Lu Yun is currently working hard on. Chiu Guyun shook his head. Saint Child, you think too highly of me. It's also my first time in the Boundless Sea region. As for the 100 sect, I only know about the most top-notch ones. The Black Mountain sect is just a subordinate force of the White Lotus sect, and there is very little literature on it. I do know a bit about Black Mountain sect. At this moment, a young man in black clothes walked over. Upon turning their heads, Lu Yun and Chiu Gyun saw a young man in black clothing. The man seemed young in appearance, but there was an air of vicissitude about him, as if he had experienced a lot. Moreover, what caught Lu Yun's attention was that this person's cultivation was not weak. Although he was an independent martial cultivator, his foundation was extremely deep, like a profound mountain, making it difficult to see his true depth. Greetings, Saint Child Lu Yun from independent martial artist Zhuo Qiuye. This young man, also known as Zhuo Qiuye, bowed slightly towards Lu Yun. Brother Zhuo, no need to be so polite. You are not a disciple of my academy, so you can just call me by my name. Lu Yun bowed back. Generally, independent martial artists would feel inferior to martial academy disciples when facing them. However, Lu Yun did not see the usual sense of inferiority in Zhuo Qiuye like other independent martial artists. He appeared confident and calm even when facing Lu Yun, the saint child of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, and coupled with his impressive strength, Lu Yun found him quite interesting. Brother Zhuo, could you tell me more about the situation of Black Mountain sect? Zhuo Qiuye nodded. The history of Black Mountain sect is quite ancient. It was once a powerful existence among the 100 sect. However, after a great battle which resulted in the sect's high-ranking members falling, the sect declined. Late on, Black Mountain sect was expelled from the 9 states along with the 100 sect, taking roots in the Near Sea area. But without powerful experts to safeguard it, it was difficult to preserve the sect's legacy, especially in the Boundless Sea region where sea beasts are rampant. Any slight carelessness could lead to the extinction of the sect. In order to avoid the crisis of extermination and survive between sea beasts, the Morijin, and various sects, Black Mountain sect sought refuge in the White Lotus sect. Up until now, although hundreds of years have passed and Black Mountain sect has not returned to its former glory, it has regained certain strength. There are 2 half-step rune seed realm experts in the sect, and numerous gold body realm experts. In addition to its background, its overall strength is enough to rank among the top 10 of the White Lotus sect's many subordinate forces. His face became serious when he mentioned the half-step rune seed realm. The half-step rune seed realm is when one has condensed a rune seed but has not yet undergone a tribulation. Even so, the strength of half-step rune seed realm experts is far more terrifying than that of gold body realm peak experts. From Zhuo Qiwai's words, Lu Yun finally had a general understanding of the Black Mountain sect. 2 half-step rune seed realm experts and numerous gold body realm experts. On their boat, there was 1 rune seed realm, 3 gold body realm peak experts, over 20 gold body realm experts, and hundreds of origin fluid realm and transforming origin realm cultivators. With such a huge force, it seemed quite easy to wipe out the Black Mountain sect. After Zhuo Qiuya left, Qiu Guyun murmured, "I didn't expect to meet him here." "You know him?" Lu Yun asked curiously. After all, Qiu Guyun was one of the top heavenly prides of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, achieving the peak of Origin Fluid Realm at a young age, and his true battle strength was comparable to the Gold Body Realm. Such martial academy, heavenly prides usually had a natural sense of superiority in front of independent martial artists, but Qiu Guyun's expression was more of shock. Zhuo Qiuya, he is the most legendary young, heavenly pride among the independent martial artists in Ling Province. He is now only 28 years old and was unknown before the age of 25. It wasn't until the past 3 years that he gained fame, and it happened overnight. Qiu Guyun spoke slowly, with a mixture of admiration and jealousy in his eyes. Although he was a heavenly pride of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, he couldn't help but feel inferior in front of Zhuo Qiuya, an outstanding man among the independent martial artists. He didn't even feel qualified to look at him as an equal. Lu Yun was also somewhat surprised. This Zhuo Qiuya was not simple at all. Compared to martial academy disciples, independent martial artists were undoubtedly more numerous. For Zhuo Qiuya to reach the top among the many independent martial artists, he certainly had the qualifications to look down on ordinary martial academy heavenly prides. Chapter 314, Chapter 314, Chapter 191, Black Mountain Sect's Decision. Chapter 314, Chapter 191, Black Mountain Sect's Decision B0 Znvel. C0M, within a majestic hall of the Black Mountain Sect, many terrifyingly powerful figures stood silently. Among them, a golden body realm expert stepped forward and raised his fist. "Sect Master, the Demon Suppression Army is now attacking in large numbers, and the White Lotus sect is bearing the brunt of it. As their subordinate force, we will inevitably be affected. In this crisis of survival, what should our Black Mountain sect do?" After he finished speaking, the atmosphere around the Black Mountain sect master, who was surrounded by golden runes and exuded a terrifying aura, was calm and indifferent. The Demon Suppression Army is coming with great momentum and launching attacks on multiple fronts. It won't be easy for them to take down the White Lotus sect. Our main decision today is whether to remain neutral or support the White Lotus sect. Whether it's the White Lotus sect or the Demon Suppression Army, both are massive forces. If the Black Mountain sect does not handle the situation properly, they would suffer severe losses or even face complete destruction, and their inheritance would be severed. They must be extremely cautious. Sect Master, the Demon Suppression Army is now coming with overwhelming momentum. Even if the White Lotus sect is still very powerful, I'm afraid they will not be able to resist. Our Black Mountain sect has suffered severe losses before, almost severing our inheritance. Now, we have just recovered half of our strength. If we exhaust it again here, I'm afraid it will be impossible for us to rise again. I think we should hold our troops for now, wait for the fate of the White Lotus sect after the first wave of attacks from the Demon Suppression Army, and then decide whether to support them or not. If even the White Lotus sect cannot withstand the onslaught, then we should consider relocating our sect. The intention of this Golden Body Realm Elder was very clear. He wanted to remain passive and watch the situation unfold. If the Demon Suppression Army is just a paper tiger, he will firmly stand by the White Lotus sect. If the White Lotus sect cannot resist, then the Black Mountain sect can only abandon their sect. As his words fell, many powerful figures in the hall changed their expressions. Apparently, they were all somewhat tempted by this proposal. None of them dared, as they were afraid of Morijin and even more of the Demon Suppression Army. The Demon Suppression Army, with their weapons pointed, was invincible in battle. Since 800 years ago, when the Yuan Emperor slaughtered many sects and severed their inheritances, the 100 sects were forced to leave the 9 provinces and relocate to the coastal areas. Afterward, the Demon Suppression Army continued their cleansing, and many sects were destroyed. The ferocity of the Demon Suppression Army was awe-inspiring among the 100 sects, especially for these subordinate forces who were reluctant to confront them easily. However, they did not speak up, but instead turned their eyes towards the figure above them. Apart from the Supreme Elder, the only one who could make a final decision was their sect master. Even if they talked too much, it wouldn't matter in the end. The final decision would still be made by the sect master alone. Different opinions just needed one voice to be heard. Time slowly passed, and the Black Mountain sect master remained silent. After a while, the golden light in his eyes flickered as it fell on a closed-eyed white-haired elder below. "Great Elder, what's your opinion on this matter?" The sect master's voice was indifferent, making it hard to tell whether he agreed with the suggestion of the Golden Body Realm Elder. Upon hearing this, the white-haired elder, who was the great elder of the Black Mountain sect, slowly opened his murky eyes and shook his head slightly. The 5th elder wants to ensure his own safety and preserve the strength of the sect. At any other time, although there would be losses, it may not be a bad approach. However, at this critical moment, it's not appropriate. Firstly, our Black Mountain sect is a subordinate force of the White Lotus sect. For hundreds of years, we have been under their protection, which has allowed us to catch our breath. If we just stand by and watch, it would be hard to justify our actions. Even if we relocate our sect to another place, how could we establish ourselves among the 100 sects? Secondly, if the White Lotus sect survives the onslaught of the Demon Suppression Army, how should our Black Mountain sect deal with their retribution afterward? We may not be able to provoke the Demon Suppression Army, but we can afford to provoke the White Lotus sect even more. As the words of the Great Elder fell, the powerful figures in the hall all showed grim expressions. If the Black Mountain sect were to withdraw at this time, even if they survived in the future, they would have no foothold in the coastal areas. But if they don't withdraw, they may face complete destruction and the severing of their inheritance. Advancing is not an option, retreating isn't either. In this dilemma, the ultimate cause is still their lack of strength. During the peak of the Black Mountain sect, they were not inferior to the White Lotus sect, but now they were in such a predicament, causing many powerful figures in the hall to feel helpless. Keeping ourselves safe can be done, but even so, one must rely on their own strength. Without it, there's no way the Black Mountain sect can have a foothold in the coastal area. The Black Mountain sect master slowly spoke. 800 years ago, our Black Mountain sect was also prominent among the 100 sects, not falling short even when compared to the White Lotus sect. But it was because we wanted to wait and see, protect ourselves, that in the end, the sect's upper echelon was destroyed and our inheritance was nearly severed. Now, we face another moment of life and death where we must make a choice. We no longer have the foundation we had 800 years ago. If we make another wrong decision, There will be no second chances. The voice of the Black Mountain sect master gradually turned cold. Therefore, we have only one choice, to firmly stand by the White Lotus sect. As his words came out, the hall fell into silence. One word decided their fate. Such was the authority of the Black Mountain sect master. However, even after making a choice, the specific execution of the plan still needed careful consideration and deliberation. Sect master, we will not oppose your decision, nor do we have the right to. However, I believe that even if we stand firmly by the White Lotus sect, we should still ensure that the Black Mountain sect does not suffer too much. Otherwise, it would be no different from being exterminated. Chapter 315, Chapter 315, Chapter 191, Black Mountain Sect's Choice _2, Chapter 315, Chapter 191, Black Mountain Sect's Choice _2B0 Zenvel. See 0 and Black Mountain Sect's fifth elder continued. I propose that we should divide our sect's power into 3 parts. 1 part should fully support the White Lotus sect. 1 part should stay at the sect to observe the changes, and the last part should retreat secretly. As soon as the words fell, someone's eyes shone with brilliance, and they couldn't help but exclaim, "Excellent idea!" After years of management and development, our sect has secretly recovered some vitality without the knowledge of the White Lotus sect. They don't even know the true strength of our Black Mountain sect. Even if they knew our Black Mountain sect sending out 1/3 of our strength to support them would be acceptable in name, they and the 100 sects wouldn't say much, and in the future, we won't be facing the wrath of the White Lotus sect. In addition, 1 part of our power will carry part of the sect's inheritance elsewhere to ensure that the sect's inheritance will not be cut off. The remaining members in the sect can calmly observe the situation. If there are opportunities to help the White Lotus sect, this part can strike with full force to compensate for their dissatisfaction. If the Mori Jin Demon Suppression Army is unstoppable, this part of the sect can transfer the entire sect's inheritance in time. Upon hearing this, the 3rd elder also nodded repeatedly. Although the proposal came from him, he hadn't thought this much. His only thought was to preserve the sect's inheritance, which was more important than anything else. A single spark can start a prairie fire. As long as there is a glimmer of hope, he doesn't want to let it go. He had been to Mori Jin before, and knew its profoundness and strength. If Mori Jin were to go all out, even a united front of the 100 sects wouldn't stand much of a chance. Moreover, the 100 sects have been based in the Near Sea region for years. Conflicts arise between them due to these interests, making it harder to form an alliance than reaching the heavens. Yet Mori Jin is ambitious and actively expanding, with its momentum being as unstoppable as the rising sun. Under these circumstances, the Black Mountain sect still has a slim chance if they turn their backs on the White Lotus sect. If they confront the Mori Jin Demon Suppression Army, there will only be the road to destruction. But since the sect master had made a decision, he could not change it. The only thing he could change was to leave a glimmer of hope for the Black Mountain sect. The Black Mountain sect master looked deeply at the other party and said softly, "In that case, let the 5th elder lead a group of core disciples and leave the sect first." With that, he closed his eyes and didn't say another word. He was well aware of the crisis that the Black Mountain sect was about to face. But as the sect master of Black Mountain sect, he did not want to repeat the path taken by his predecessors 800 years ago. He is the sect master of the Black Mountain sect, and he cannot retreat. Also, the war has yet to begin, and everything remains uncertain. Warships swiftly traversed the deep sky, generating layers of spatial ripples. As they arrived in the Near Sea region, heavenly and earthly spiritual chi became even denser. At the same time, the void was filled with thick water mist, reducing visibility to less than half of the original. However, this didn't affect the ship's speed. The Grand Fleet was unstoppable, marching forward, especially with the colossal far suppression battleship present. Even the powerful heavenly human realm experts had to avoid their sharp edges. Suddenly, the void churned, as if something was approaching quickly. A huge mouth opened wide, seemingly trying to swallow the treasure boat and all the martial artists on it. However, facing such a behemoth, everyone remained calm and showed no sign of panic. As expected, when the huge mouth was about to touch the treasure boat, a dazzling light burst out from the boat, and a powerful force blasted the huge mouth. Roar! The treasure boat swayed slightly, while a wretched scream came from the depths of the sky. Humph! A mere 7th rank sea beast dares to attack our Morrigan demon extermination army, simply courting death. A cold voice sounded, and a dark figure stepped out of the void from the treasure boat and disappeared into the void. Looking at the golden runes flashing around the figure, Lu Yun's face changed. Rune Seed Realm expert. Moreover, he vaguely saw that the runes around this person numbered at least 70 or more, making them incredibly powerful. Martial artists at the peak of the gold body realm would inscribe heavenly and earthly laws as runes and refine them into rune seeds on the strong foundation of their flesh. After enduring thunder tribulation, they could advance to the rune seed realm. There are 4 grades of rune seeds. First, the rune seed that melts 36 law runes is considered a low-grade rune seed. Second, the rune seed that melts 64 law runes is considered a mid-level rune seed. Third, the rune seed that melts 81 law runes is considered a top-grade rune seed. Fourth, the rune seed that melts 99 runes is considered a superior rune seed. The person releases more than 70 law runes from their body, which means that their rune seed is at least a mid-level rune seed and very close to the top grade. Moreover, this does not guarantee that these are all of their law runes. Boom! The commotion coming from the void is enough to prove that this sea beast is not as simple as an ordinary 7th rank. Even so, bright red blood soon floats down, like a heavy downpour. Such strength is definitely not something that an ordinary rune seed realm expert can achieve. As expected, the Earth rank demon extermination general has extraordinary strength, said Lei Kang, feeling the fluctuations in the void gradually calming down and showing surprise in his eyes. Before long, a huge creature falls from the depths of the void. Just before it hits the treasure boat, its remains vanish in a flash of golden runes. At the same time, the black-clothed Earth-rank demon extermination general gracefully lands on the treasure boat. The blood of a 7th-rank sea beast has a huge value, and it can enhance the physical strength of the demon extermination guard. Refine it well, he said, waving his hand. The sea beast's blood falls on every demon extermination guard. Thank you, General Zhuang. All the demon extermination guards on the treasure boat show excited expressions, looking at the black-clothed demon extermination general with even greater admiration. On the other side, Lei Kang whispered to Lu Yun, this demon extermination general is named Zhuang Ziyuan, and he is one of the youngest Earth-rank demon extermination generals in the Demon Suppression Army, with a top-grade rune seed and a strong reputation. Lu Yun gave a faint smile. So it is a top-grade rune seed indeed. He had suspected this earlier, and now he got the confirmation from Lei Kang himself. Lu Yun did not pay any more attention to the vigorous, low-level demon extermination general, but looked into the depths of the void and asked, Elder Lei, isn't the near-sea area the territory of the 100 sect? Why are there such powerful sea beasts appearing? The near-sea area is almost all land, not suitable for the ordinary sea clan to inhabit, but it is also the territory of sea beasts. However, 800 years ago, the 100 sect escaped from Jiuzhou and fought a fierce battle with the sea beasts. Eventually, because the sea beasts couldn't fully exert their strength on land, they were defeated and retreated to the Outer Sea region. Since then, the Near Sea area has become the territory of the Hundred Sect. However, the enmity between the Hundred Sect and the Sea clan has been deeply rooted for hundreds of years, and from time to time, many high-level sea beasts attack the Hundred Sect's territory. Hearing this, Lu Yun nodded slightly. "It seems that we have helped the Hundred Sect solve a problem," he said. Lei King shook his head. "That's not exactly right. The Hundred Sect, after all, is part of the human race. The conflict between Mori Jin and the Hundred Sect is due to differences in beliefs and positions, while the conflict between the demon beasts and the Sea clan is one of racial differences. Racial conflicts are far greater than those of beliefs and positions, so for hundreds of years, Mori Jin has mainly focused on driving away the demon beasts and expanding the Great Wilderness, while suppressing the Hundred Sect as a secondary task. If it weren't for the Hundred Sect's constant offenses against Mori Jin, today's battle wouldn't have come so soon." Lei Kang's words were something that Lu Yun hadn't considered before. However, this made him even more curious about the Yuan Emperor's court. The warship continues to travel through deep space, encountering sea beast attacks on the way more than once, but all are slain by the powerful beings on the warship. Their bodies become trophies, while their blood becomes treasures to enhance the physical strength of the demon extermination guards. Time flies. Standing on the warship, one can vaguely see the bustling city below. However, the inhabitants of the city are just ordinary people under the rule of the Hundred Sect, and the Demon Suppression Army does not harm them, continuing to advance deeper into the territory. Chapter 316, Chapter 316, Chapter 192, Breaking the Formation, Arrival, Chapter 316, Chapter 192, Breaking the Formation, Arrival B0 Zenvel. C0M at this moment. A loud and resounding voice suddenly sounded from deep in the sky. N0. 1. N0. 2. Number 3. N0. 4. And number 5 warships and their subordinates follow the far suppression and continue onward. The remaining warships head to the White Lotus Sect's subordinate forces. The voice rang like a massive bell, drifting in the air and falling into everyone's ears. Rumble! The colossal warship at the forefront continued to sail forward, followed by 5 other massive warship fleets. Meanwhile, the smaller fleets began to veer off in other directions. The warship that Lu Yun was on, being a treasure-class battleship, was also massive in size. The Demon Suppression Army on it comprised 10,000 people, among them an Earth-rank demon extermination general, Wei Zongqing. Though his strength was not on par with Zhuang Zijin's, he was a formidable early-stage rune seed realm cultivator. There were also the Flying Spirit Martial Academy and South Sun Martial Academy on board, with 3 peak Golden Body realm cultivators. There were also several thousand independent martial cultivators, including over a dozen Golden Body realm martial artists. With such an imposing force at his disposal, the mission had only one goal: to eradicate the Black Mountain sect. It was unknown how long it had been. Suddenly, a small point of light in front of them expanded rapidly at a speed visible to the naked eye. Soon, an expanse of white light appeared in everyone's sights. Seeing the heavens and earth enveloped in white, mysterious light, Lu Yun couldn't help but feel something. Unlike the martial academies of the Mori Jin states and counties, which had almost no defenses, the mountain gates of the Hundred Sects in the coastal regions were all protected by natural arrays. To enter, outsiders must break the sect array. Of course, arrays created by the foundations of a sect were not easily broken by ordinary people. The Black Mountain sect was once a top sect in the region, with Golden Core realm cultivators and a long and rich inheritance. It had many means at its disposal. Even now, its sect array was still extraordinarily sturdy. How to break it open remained a challenge. Everyone be prepared. As soon as the array is broken, enter right away and kill all the strong members of the Black Mountain sect. Wei Zongqing said coldly. Upon hearing this, the demon suppression army nodded obediently. The martial artists from the martial academies and the numerous independent martial cultivators also showed stern expressions and let their auras burst forth. Seeing this, Wei Zongqing didn't waste any more words and stepped off the warship into the sky. He then stretched out his right hand, and a black all the size of a fist appeared in his palm. In the next moment, the black all detached itself from Wei Zongqing's hand, radiating a deep black light before rapidly enlarging. Buzz. As the all expanded, a rumbling noise sounded from the void surrounding it. The initially calm void instantly stirred up waves, which grew larger and larger as if the space was about to be pierced through by some force. Instantly, Lu Yun felt his mind trembling. So strong. His eyes were filled with shock. Just one glance at the black all caused his sea of consciousness to produce intense fluctuations. This showed just how terrifying the black all was. However, could this black all break through the Black Mountain sect's sect protection array? As Lu Yun was doubtful, a familiar voice came from beside him. This is the array breaking all. Array breaking all? Lu Yun turned his head and saw Lei Kang, who had somehow made his way beside him. Seeing his confusion, Lei Kang's gaze fell on the array breaking all, and a solemn expression appeared on his face. The array breaking all, along with the warships and other artifacts, are part of the inheritance left by the first-generation primordial emperor. More than 800 years ago, during the expulsion of the 100 sects, the array breaking all was used to destroy one sect gate after another. Its fame skyrocketed, and the 100 sects fled in terror. Unfortunately, after centuries of scarce warfare between Morijin and the 100 sects, the array breaking all was no longer used, and its formidable reputation began to fade away. As he spoke, his solemn expression gradually gave way to nostalgia and ease. Rumor has it that each array breaking all is at least a superior treasure, possessing terrifying power. When fully stimulated, it can deliver a full-strength blow comparable to a golden core realm cultivator. As such, the Black Mountain sect's sect protection array should be easily broken. Upon hearing this, Lu Yun was even more shocked. Although he didn't know the exact power of a full-strength blow from a golden core realm cultivator, he could vaguely guess that it would be a world-shattering force. And that seemingly unremarkable black all, or rather, the array breaking all, possessed such power. Moreover, according to Lei Kang's words just now, there were not only one array breaking all, and the weakest of them could unleash the power of a full-strength blow from a golden core realm cultivator. What about higher-grade array breaking alls? Could they possess even greater power, on par with heavenly human realm cultivators? Lu Yin shook his head internally. He couldn't imagine how the 100 sects could compete with Morijin if they truly possessed such terrifying array-breaking alls. Under Wei Zongqing's control, the array-breaking all enlarged to several tens of meters in size, and, with an incredibly powerful penetrating force, descended towards the sect protection array covering the Black Mountain sect. The heaven and earth trembled violently, countless mysterious lights burst forth, and the sect protection array seemed to have received some kind of strong stimulus. At the same time, in the palace hall of the Black Mountain sect, the sect master, who was deep in thought about how to aid the White Lotus sect, suddenly opened his closed eyes. The palace trembled, the mountain shook, and the space quivered. Simultaneously, a neighing sound echoed throughout the hall. At this moment, every strong cultivator in the hall felt a slight change in their expressions. What is going on? It must be a sea beast attacking the sect protection array. As a sect near the ocean, the Black Mountain sect was often attacked by sea beasts. The sect had endured at least one or two sea beast attacks every year, and had long become accustomed to such incidents, taking them in stride. Chapter 317, Chapter 317, Chapter 192, Breaking the Formation, Arrival to, Chapter 317, Chapter 192, Breaking the Formation, Arrival to B0's Nvel. C0M Sect Master, I will go out and kill this sea beast. A gold body realm expert stepped forward with a graceful bow, exuding an imposing aura. All right, go quickly and return quickly. The Black Mountain Sect Master gave a slight nod. As long as it's not an overly powerful sea beast, 1 or 2 gold body realm experts should be enough. This individual was the heavenly pride Fu Feng of the Black Mountain Sect, possessing the ability to fight across realms, and killing a sea beast that attacked the sect protection array would be as easy as flipping his hand. It wasn't surprising that he was so confident, as in the past the attacking sea beasts had always been only at the 6th rank. However, as soon as his voice fell, the surrounding space began to tremble violently again, and the sturdy and thick hall started to show slight cracks. No, this attack is different from the past ones. It's more powerful. I'm afraid it's at least a 7th rank sea beast. Someone's voice trembled, speaking with disbelief. Upon hearing this, the expressions of the experts in the hall changed again. A 7th rank sea beast was as powerful as a rune seed realm expert, and if they were targeted by such a powerful sea beast, the days of the Black Mountain Sect would be in jeopardy. Previously, Heavenly Pride Fu Feng, who had asked to go to the battlefield, his complexion also became serious. He had no fear in facing a 6th rank sea beast, but if it were a 7th rank sea beast, the situation would be entirely different. A 7th rank sea beast, the Black Mountain Sect Master's eyebrows furrowed slightly, waving his hand and saying, "In that case, ignore it for now, let it make a fuss for a while, and it will leave on its own." The sect protection array of the Black Mountain Sect could withstand a golden core realm expert for a short period. A 7th rank sea beast would be unable to break through the sect protection array. It would be troublesome to get rid of it, so they could only hunker down inside. Sect Master, why not ask the Supreme Elder to leave seclusion and personally lead a team to support the White Lotus Sect? This way, we can alleviate the suspicions of the White Lotus Sect to the greatest extent. Seeing the hesitation of the Black Mountain Sect Master, the Great Elder suggested, "The Supreme Elder has been in seclusion, and I don't want to disturb him unless absolutely necessary." The Black Mountain Sect Master waved his hand slightly and pondered, "To show our sincerity, I will personally lead the team, and Great Elder will stay behind at the sect, keeping an eye on the changes in the battle situation. If anything unexpected happens, make a decision right away." Sect Master, the Great Elder wanted to speak further, but was stopped by the Sect Master of Black Mountain Sect. "All right, the decision has been made. Order the sect's true Chi Realm disciples, and above, as well as the resident elders, to assemble tomorrow morning. I will personally decide who will stay behind and who will go to battle." As the words fell, the Black Mountain Sect Master stood up, ready to leave the hall. But at this moment, a crisp noise came from outside, as if something was shattering. Not good. As if foreseeing something, the Black Mountain Sect Master's pupils were filled with horror, and he quickly picked up his pace and appeared outside the hall. Looking up, the mysterious light barrier that had enveloped the sky had shattered, turning into a series of streamers that fell towards the various peaks of the Black Mountain Sect. The sect protection array is broken. At this moment, many disciples of the Black Mountain Sect had their eyes filled with shock. The sect protection array had been broken, an event that had not occurred in hundreds of years. The last time the sect protection array had been broken had been over 800 years ago, and the Black Mountain Sect's inheritance had almost been destroyed. What about this time? At this point, many of the experts in the hall also appeared outside right away. Their eyes were all fixed on the vortex that was constantly expanding, where a large awl was spinning wildly, trying to completely destroy the sect protection array. AR ray-breaking awl. Looking at the pitch-black array-breaking awl that had been magnified countless times, the eyes of the Black Mountain sect master were filled with coldness and fear. Although he had not personally experienced the scene of the sect's high-level figures being slaughtered when the sect protection array was broken over 800 years ago, everything related to it had been passed down through generations of sect masters. Therefore, he was very clear about the array-breaking awl and how similar the current crisis facing the Black Mountain sect was to that of the past, the brink of life and death. Furthermore, the current Black Mountain sect was far from its peak. "Sect Master, what is that thing?" Fu Feng asked with trembling voice. The onlookers also looked towards the Black Mountain sect master, clearly shocked by the treasure that had broken the sect protection array. Array-breaking awl, a weapon that Morijin uses against the 100 sects. It is the nemesis of our 100 sects. The sect master of the Black Mountain sect slowly spoke, his brain racing at lightning speed as he pondered over the next course of action. The array-breaking awl had appeared, so how could Morijin's demon suppression army not have arrived? Array-breaking awl. Most of the strong experts were somewhat puzzled upon hearing this name. While the Great Elder's ancient eyes slightly narrowed, he exclaimed, "How is it possible? Weren't the White Lotus sect and the Red Moon Demon sect the main targets of the demon suppression army? How did they appear outside of our Black Mountain sect?" He could not believe it, nor did he dare to imagine it. But they've already come, and they've even broken through our sect protection array. The sect master of the Black Mountain sect said with trembling voice, "The Morijin's demon suppression army has arrived, and their target is pointed straight towards our Black Mountain sect. Notify all disciples of the sect to immediately run." After saying this, it seemed as though he had exhausted all his strength, becoming extremely weak. Run, including the Great Elder. Everyone could hardly believe that such words would come out of their sect master's mouth. Our Black Mountain sect is too weak, being targeted by the demon suppression army. There's only one outcome: total annihilation. The only solution is to flee. He was well aware of how formidable the demon suppression army outside must be, considering they were able to deploy a precious treasure like the array-breaking awl. With the current strength of the Black Mountain sect, they simply couldn't resist. Escaping was the best option. But listen to my order. Hurry and inform the disciples of the sect to flee. The Black Mountain sect master roared with all his might. Upon seeing this, the Golden Body Realm experts finally realized the seriousness of the situation and quickly headed towards the various mountaintops. "Great Elder, why are you not leaving?" The sect master of the Black Mountain sect looked at the Great Elder beside him and spoke indifferently. "Aren't you also not leaving, sect master?" "Am not leaving because it's my responsibility and mission. You are the sect master, and I am the Great Elder. Staying behind is also my responsibility." The Great Elder smiled and said, "Moreover, with my body on the verge of breaking down, I won't last much longer. If I can buy some more time for the disciples to escape, it's worth it." Under their gaze, with a puff, the array completely collapsed, revealing the true void in front of them. In that boundless deep space, enormous warships descended one after another, completely enveloping the sky above the Black Mountain sect. Demon suppression army. Gazing at the massive warships that filled the entire sky, the sect master of the Black Mountain sect's eyes were filled with chill. Although he already knew in his heart that it was undoubtedly the demon suppression army that had arrived, seeing the actual colossal warships, his mood sank to rock bottom. "Great Elder, today we shall fight side by side." The sect master of the Black Mountain sect deeply looked at the palace behind him one last time, and finally his eyes rested on the Great Elder. The Great Elder stood with his hands behind his back and uttered a single word from his mouth. Battle! Immediately after, he stepped into the sky, preparing to strike horizontally at the incoming demon suppression army. At the same time, the news of the demon suppression army's arrival spread throughout the Black Mountain sect's 3 palaces and 9 peaks in an instant. These disciples, upon receiving orders from their peak masters and elders, were all shocked. Not fighting and running away, this is not the proper behavior of the disciples of the Black Mountain sect. I, Xiaozhan, request permission to join the fray. I, Wang Bo, also request permission to fight. The true inheritor of the sect, Luo Yunxi, requests permission to fight. With a great enemy approaching, the only command issued by the sect was to flee, which the disciples couldn't accept. Consequently, they clamored to join the battle. However, when they saw those colossal warships in the sky, which were like clouds hanging above, everyone was intimidated, and momentarily, no one requested to join the battle. The disciples who had previously clamored to join the battle hesitated, not knowing what was on their minds. Fleeing without fighting may be shameful, but what's the big deal as long as it ensures the survival of the sect's inheritance? Looking at these disciples who were silent one by one, a strong expert from the Black Mountain sect spoke. Go, this peak master will lead you all to break through. This time, no disciple refused. Scenes like this happened simultaneously in many places in the Black Mountain sect. Aboard the warship, Wei Zongqing withdrew the array breaking all and coldly observed the chaotic state of the Black Mountain sect below. Chapter 318, Chapter 318, Chapter 193, Black Silence Profound Thunder, Chapter 318, Chapter 193, Black Silence Profound Thunder B0XN0VL. See him in the next moment. Wei Zongqing appeared in the deep sky. With a punch, accompanied by a rumbling sound, endless golden runes appeared in the void, ruthlessly falling towards the Black Mountain sect. In an instant, the void exploded, and the mountains trembled. All the palaces of the Black Mountain sect were annihilated at this moment. Then, the battleship slowly descended and settled on the top of the mountain. The disputes over the Tao and positions have no right or wrong. Blame them for obstructing Marine's development and the rise of the human race. Today's battle must not be held back. Otherwise, today's kindness will be cruelty to the human race in the future. After briefly explaining, Wei Zongqing stepped out, surrounded by golden runes, like a descending golden sun, with a magnificent momentum that shook the void. Rune Seed Realm. The sect master of the Black Mountain sect stepped into the void, reaching a position on par with Wei Zongqing. The void tore open, and a giant seal appeared there. The entire body of the giant seal was pitch black, with a deep and mysterious surface, mysterious patterns all over it, as if it were flowing black lightning filled with a destructive and majestic aura that emitted from it. Black Mountain Seal. Seeing the black seal appear, there was a slight fluctuation in Wei Zongqing's calm eyes. As a demon extermination general in this campaign against the Black Mountain sect, he naturally knew about the situation of the Black Seal. The Black Mountain Seal was the treasure of the Black Mountain sect, not only possessing the power to shake mountains, but also releasing the terrifying black, silence profound thunder. Even Rune Seed Realm experts who were accidentally contaminated by it would be in danger of falling. Unfortunately, treasures like the Black Mountain Seal could only be used by someone above the Rune Seed Realm, barely able to exert 7 or 8/10 of its power. The current sect master of the Black Mountain sect, afraid of the might of thunder tribulation, did not dare to cross it, barely considered as half-step Rune Seed Realm. Even with the Black Mountain Seal, he wasn't someone to be feared. In just a moment of seeing the Black Mountain Seal, Wei Zongqing had already weighed the pros and cons. On the other side, with the Black Mountain Seal in his hand, The sect master of the Black Mountain sect looked at all the people in front of him, a coldness in his deep black eyes. My Black Mountain sect withdrew from 9 provinces 800 years ago and has never set foot in Marine's territory, nor has it ever been an enemy of Marine. Why does Marine's demon suppression army want to destroy my sect now? The sect master of the Black Mountain sect's voice was powerful, clearly falling into everyone's ears. Humph, the 100 sects are indeed the scum of our human race, especially the White Lotus sect and the Red Moon Demon sect, who have repeatedly violated Marine, plundered our population, and destroyed the foundation of the human race. Your Black Mountain sect, as a subordinate force of the White Lotus sect, is also guilty and must be punished. Wei Zongcheng's tone was indifferent, filled with killing intent. Hearing this, the sect master of the Black Mountain sect sneered. What a guilty and must be punished. Marine is just stealing the victory fruits of the 100 sects, and now he actually thinks he is the orthodox human race. It's really ridiculous. Marine expelled demon beasts, expanded the endless great wilderness, developed territory, spread martial arts throughout the world, and made martial arts prosperous. Its achievements are far beyond your reach. Today, my demon suppression army is here to eradicate the remnants left from 800 years ago and permanently eliminate the internal troubles of the human race. With a wave of Wei Zongcheng's hand, the demon suppression guards and many martial artists on the battleship appeared and killed the Black Mountain sect with a soaring, killing intent. Humph! If you want to destroy my Black Mountain sect, pass me first. As the words fell, the Black Mountain seal trembled, and the black silence profound thunder erupted. The void beneath sect master of the Black Mountain sect collapsed, and the sky-high momentum instantly burst out. Half-step rune seed realm, although just a half-step, was far from comparable to the strength of a gold body realm peak expert. In his move, a world-shattering might burst out from the void. Just a mere half-step rune seed realm. Even if you have a treasure like the Black Mountain seal, how much power can you really exert? Wei Zongcheng sneered coldly, and the long sword behind him sounded as if it was drawn out of its scabbard by itself. As the sword hilt was grasped, the power of heaven and earth gathered. The sword radiance erupted, cutting the void in front of him effortlessly. Black silence, profound thunder, and surging sword radiance collided. Waves that were like sea waves surged towards all sides. At the same time, all the people on the battleship rushed into the mountain gate. On the mountain peak, green mountains and clear waters originally held a beautiful scenery, even planted with various spirit herbs. Now, however, they were devastated. The disciples of the Black Mountain sect were all in a daze, with such a sudden appearance of so many powerhouses rushing to kill, frightened them to quickly counterattack and flee. Boom! A golden thunder suddenly struck down from the sky, directly piercing a fleeing disciple of the Black Mountain sect and turning him into a charred husk. Humph! Don't think about escaping. Black Mountain sect. Lei Kang looked coldly at the panicked disciples of the Black Mountain sect, his body flickering with golden thunder and an arresting momentum. Behind him, Lu Yun and other martial academy disciples followed suit. "It'll stop them. You guys retreat first." Someone roared, and a man dressed in black robes blocked Lei Kang. Apparently, this was a gold body realm expert who had been immersed in this realm for many years. Even sensing the terrifying power from Lei Kang, he wasn't afraid and actively intercepted him. "Saint Child, leave this one to me. You guys chase down the others." Lei Kang said to the flying Spirit Martial Academy students behind him, soaring into the sky, a bolt of thunder shooting out, colliding with the black-robed man. Boom! As the two collided, Lei Kang occupied the upper hand, completely suppressing the Black Mountain sect's expert. Chapter 319, Chapter 319, Chapter 193, Dark Mysterious Thunder _2, Chapter 319, Chapter 193, Dark Mysterious Thunder _2, B0XN0VL, CM Kill. Lu Yun ordered the people behind him and took the lead in pursuing the enemies. There were numerous disciples in the Black Mountain sect, with tens of thousands in the inner sect alone. Moreover, the Black Mountain sect occupied a vast area with 3 main halls, 9 peaks, and dozens of large and small mountain peaks. It would not be easy to exterminate all the people of the Black Mountain sect. We are all of the human race. Why must you kill us without mercy? After surrounding a group of about 10 or so Black Mountain sect disciples on their own, a young man in his 20s asked accusingly, "It is not that we want to kill you relentlessly, but the 100 sects are no longer suitable for the development of the human race, especially forces like the White Lotus sect." Lu Yun had contacted the White Lotus sect a few times before and had no good feelings for them. The Black Mountain sect, as a subordinate force, was not much better. Moreover, he was now representing Marine and the greater interests of the human race. The 100 sects stood against Marine, hindering the progress of the human race, and must be eliminated. With a slight wave of his hand, several fire snakes emerged and fell upon the 12 Black Mountain sect disciples, burning them to ashes in no time. Lu Yun glanced at his demon extermination token, but there was no change on it. It seems that killing disciples of the 100 sects below the transforming origin realm indeed does not grant any demon extermination points. Lu Yun shook his head slightly, and then led the Martial Academy students behind him to continue pursuing the enemy. Although the Black Mountain sect had regained some strength, it had no power to resist the onslaught of 1 rune seed realm, 3 peak golden body realm experts, over 20 golden body realm warriors, and tens of thousands of demon extermination guards and martial artists. Haha, it's no wonder that you were once the sect that ruled Kyushu. Even now, you still have such a deep foundation that simply acquiring 1 item can be worth years of my hard work. The most ferocious ones in this process were the independent martial cultivators. They joined the Demon Suppression Army, this time to earn demon extermination points, and take advantage of the chaos of war to gain cultivation resources. Compared to earning points, they were more enthusiastic about the latter. At this time, the fleeing Black Mountain sect disciples had more or less a considerable number of spirit crystals and pills on them. As long as they were killed and their bodies were searched, there would be a lot of gains. Haha, 2 late-stage true chi disciples, die for me. A middle-aged independent martial cultivator caught up with 2 Black Mountain sect disciples and launched his attack with explosive fists. The red true origin surrounding his body indicated that he was at the transforming origin realm level. With such power, it was a piece of cake for him to kill the 2 true chi realm Black Mountain sect disciples. You dogs of Marine dare to slaughter my sect's disciples so blatantly. You really deserve to die. A 26 or 27-year-old Black Mountain sect disciple leaped into the air and slashed his sword at the middle-aged independent martial cultivator. With a boom, their attacks collided, and the middle-aged independent martial cultivator was defeated, spewing blood and flying away. As his body flew through the air, the sword light flashed, and blood splattered as his body was cut in 2. It's senior brother Lin Feng. He's here to save us. The 2 disciples were surprised, and then overjoyed. This genius senior brother was one of the top true inheritance disciples of the sect. He was highly talented, powerful, and prestigious, and the Black Mountain sect disciples respected him deeply. Kid, you actually didn't run away, instead you came back. I don't know if you are loyal or foolish, but no matter what, since you stayed behind, prepare to die. Several powerful independent martial cultivators appeared in the sky, attacking from the front. These were more powerful cultivators among the independent practitioners who had been stuck in the origin fluid realm for many years and could not advance to the golden body realm. This time, if they could accumulate enough demon extermination points, they could exchange them for pills to improve their cultivation or even exchange for a golden body realm cultivation technique, giving them a chance to glimpse the powerful golden body realm. The Black Mountain sect may be on the verge of collapse, but we will not tolerate your independent cultivators causing havoc. At that moment, a voice appeared, coming from above. It was an elder of the Black Mountain sect. Damn it, it's a golden body realm expert. The independent cultivators were shrewd people, knowing to pick on the weak. Golden body realm experts were not something they could handle. So, as soon as they saw the elder appear, they didn't hesitate at all and immediately fled. Elder Tung, don't let them go, or our whereabouts will be exposed. Lin Feng hurriedly reminded. The elder called. Tung nodded. Trying to escape from me, how is that possible? Boom. After just a few exchanges, golden light flickered in the sky, followed by spurts of blood as the 3 origin fluid realm independent cultivators were killed. They were independent cultivators, inherently weaker, and now facing a golden body realm expert from the Black Mountain sect, they were no match at all. Thank you, Elder Tung. Lin Feng bowed in gratitude. You carry the hope of our sect as one of our true inheritance disciples. You must not be so reckless next time. Elder Tung looked at the humble and polite disciple in front of him, and although he was quite satisfied, he still scolded him. Elder, I couldn't bear to see my fellow disciples in danger. Elder Tung wanted to say something, but in the end, he didn't open his mouth. He just said, hurry up and leave before Marine's demon suppression army catches up again. I'm afraid you won't be able to leave. Suddenly, a cold voice sounded. At the sound of the voice, Elder Tung's body trembled slightly. He looked up to see a young man in a purple robe had appeared before them, without them noticing. Chapter 320, Chapter 320, Chapter 193, Black Silence, Profound Thunder. Chapter 320, Chapter 193, Black Silence, Profound Thunder, B0XN0VL. CM the person who came was none other than Lu Yun. After killing more than a dozen Black Mountain sect disciples at the transforming origin realm level, the demon extermination points on his demon's extermination token finally broke through the count of 20 demon extermination points, which were too many for regular martial artists. However, to Lu Yun, it was pitifully few, so he was preparing for solo action. Of course, before this, he had already ordered the 3 Golden Body Realm Elders from the Martial Academy to protect Gu Yuan, Bailey Yi, and the others no matter what. The Black Mountain sect was now in a state of total collapse, with many Golden Body Realm powerhouses being entangled by the Demon Suppression Army and other powerhouses. In such a situation, Lu Yun no longer needed to worry about the safety of Gu Yuan and the others, so he chased them on his own. As expected, he had finally encountered 2 decent preys. Very well, you just have the origin fluid realm for cultivation, yet dared to chase me alone. You're quite good. Elder Tung from the Black Mountain sect discerned Lu Yun's cultivation level with a single glance. His eyes were cold, and his tone was chilling. Enough to kill you. Lu Yun's eyes were slightly cold as he threw a direct punch. Red sun breaks the sky. An overwhelmingly powerful punch rumbled out, enveloped a huge mountain, making it seem as if it was covered by a terrifying light. The fleeing Black Mountain sect disciples could only feel the earth shaking and look in horror at the waves sweeping over them from behind, because all they could see was an endless golden light, and that venerable and powerful Elder Tung was directly submerged by the golden light. His last gaze fell on this Black Mountain sect true inheritance disciple, Lin Feng. What could be seen in his gaze? Expectation, longing, and hope. Elder Tung, looking at Elder Tung, who couldn't even withstand one round in this young man's hands and was directly bombed to death, this Black Mountain Sect true inheritance disciple had a stunned look filled with grief and shock. He had clearly heard earlier that this young man was at the origin fluid realm cultivation level, but as a result, the dignified golden body realm elder of the Black Mountain Sect was actually killed with a counterattack. What kind of monster is this? While shocked, his heart was filled with immense grief and anger. His revered elder, who he had always been very respectful of, died right in front of him, and his hatred was like an endless river. Destroying my sect, killing my fellow disciples, I, Lin Feng, and Mori Jin will never coexist. Lin Feng coldly glanced at Lu Yun, then took out a golden talisman paper with interwoven law auras, which was quite mysterious. This was a teleportation talisman, capable of instantly teleporting tens of thousands of miles away. It was extremely precious and could only be made by rune seed realm powerhouses. Before this, he would never have left his fellow disciples to escape alone. But now, having witnessed Elder Tung falling in front of him because of himself, he knew he couldn't be reckless anymore. So, he crushed the teleportation talisman without hesitation. As the space ripple emerged, and he was about to break the void and leave, a golden streak suddenly pierced through his head. Golden-edged sword form. This was the treasure Lu Yun obtained from the golden Ho Beast. At this moment in his hands, the golden-edged sword fang became even more flexible, and its power was even more terrifying. Looking at the corpse lying on the ground, there was a slight fluctuation in Lu Yun's expression. Honestly, in his view, both the true inheritance disciple of the Black Mountain Sect and the Golden Body Realm Elder he had just killed had been quite sincere towards their fellow sect members, even showing no fear of death. Killing such people gave him an odd feeling in his heart. No matter what, they were still part of the human race, and there was no enmity between them and himself. Killing them would naturally stir some emotions in his heart. Blame yourselves for being part of a sect. In the end, Lu Yun still shook his head slightly, clearing the strange emotions in his heart. He had always been quite clear-headed when faced with major issues. Now, Mori Jin was the orthodox of the human race. As long as Mori Jin could lead the human race to continue expanding, they would prosper and grow stronger. The 100 sect, on the other hand, would only seek their own interests, causing internal strife and attempting to take advantage of Meridian's expansion into the great wilderness to erode Meridian's foundation. Such actions absolutely couldn't be tolerated. Chapter 321, Chapter 321, Chapter 194, The Fall of the Black Sect Master, Arrival of the Supreme Elder, Chapter 321, Chapter 194, The Fall of the Black Sect Master, Arrival of the Supreme Elder B0XN0VL. CM now. The entire Black Mountain Sect is immersed in battle, with more than half of its disciples lost. At present, only those elite disciples escorted by various sect masters and elders have survived. However, pursued and attacked by demon extermination guards and numerous martial academy disciples and independent martial cultivators, they are also heavily wounded. As their fellow sect members fell one by one, the entire Black Mountain Sect was engulfed in sorrow. Are we of the Black Mountain Sect doomed in this disaster? An elder, looking at the encircling demon extermination guards, wept and lamented to the heavens. As long as the fire seed remains, a prairie fire will surely rise in the future. The fifth elder sighed deeply, with a hint of relief in his eyes. He had anticipated that giving full support to the White Lotus sect would ultimately lead to the destruction of the Black Mountain Sect, and therefore proposed the plan to divide the sect's strength into 3. Now, some of the disciples had already left the mountain gate, hiding in nearby sea areas, ensuring that even if no one escaped, the Black Mountain sect would not be completely wiped out. He looked deeply at the mountain gate and at the disciples surrounding him, his expression calm, and in an almost desolate voice, he said, "You must live." With a reminder, he led the charge and fought through. Outside the mountain gate, shadows loomed, and the demon extermination guards were already in battle formation, completely encircling the Black Mountain sect. Boom! Battle erupted immediately, with true origin intertwining, rainbow lights flashing, and the first to charge out, the Black Mountain sect's fifth elder, quickly becoming bloodied and heavily injured. That was because his opponent was much stronger than him. Behind him, a group of elite disciples looked pale. If the late Golden Core, Realm's fifth elder, couldn't help them break through, who could lead them out? Kill, break through there. At another direction, 7 or 8 Black Mountain sect elders took the lead, bathed in blood, battling fiercely with the demon extermination guards. The mountain peak was directly leveled, creating a bloody path and leading numerous disciples to break through the siege. Want to leave? It's not that easy. In the distance, Lei Kang stepped on the void and arrived. With a casual move, golden thunderbolts flew out. Boom! Thunder arcs fell, smashing mountains and shaking space. No one knew how powerful this thunderbolt was. Even though several Black Mountain sect elders tried to resist it, many disciples were still buried in it. Not good. This person is too strong, at least in the Golden Body Realm peak. The people of the Black Mountain sect were horrified. Besides the Supreme Elder and Sect Master, only the Great Elder of the Black Mountain sect was at the Golden Body Realm peak. However, now the Sect Master was battling the Demon Suppression Army commander, and the Great Elder was also entangled by other Demon Suppression Army experts. As for the most powerful Supreme Elder, he was in life and death seclusion, and whether he was alive or not was still an unknown. The remaining people were ordinary Golden Body Realm martial artists, with a certain gap from the peak of the Golden Body Realm. Not to mention Lei Kang, who had been immersed in the current realm for many years and was waiting to condense rune seeds and cross the Thunder Tribulation to advance to the Rune Seed realm. Black Mountain sect is destined to be destroyed, and none of you have a chance to escape. Lei Kang coldly shouted, his body wrapped in golden thunder, and he rushed forward to kill. If you want to destroy my Black Mountain sect, you must pay with blood. 3 Black Mountain sect elders immediately tried to stop Lei Kang, while the other elders led the elite disciples to continue breaking through the siege. Battle began, and Lei Kang was not the only one trying to stop the people of the Black Mountain sect from escaping. And there was not only one direction for the Black Mountain sect's people to escape. Shadows were everywhere, encircling, blocking, and killing each other in various places. In the deep sky above the Black Mountain sect, golden runes shook the void, black thunders roared, and powerful waves echoed in the sky. Compared to this intense battle, the ground fighting seemed ordinary. Sword intent sword, and the powerful sword Qi pierced through the clouds. The Earth-rank demon extermination General Wei Zongqing of the Demon Suppression Army was bathed in bright light, emitting dazzling flashes, and one law rune after another floated out, surrounding him, blocking the terrifying black silence profound thunder. If you had crossed the Thunder Tribulation and truly advanced to the Rune Seed realm, and then held this Black Mountain seal in your hand, even I would not easily deal with you. Unfortunately, you have hesitated to cross the tribulation for too long, and today you can only die under my sword, with the Black Mountain sect destroyed. The Black Mountain sect master was indifferent. What more could he say now? He didn't want to say more, wishing only to use the entirety of his power, mobilizing the Black Mountain seal to block this mighty enemy. The Black Mountain seal, as the sect's treasure, took a heavy toll on him to drive it with only half-step rune seed realm strength, one unknown to outsiders. However, his originally slightly dark head of hair now had a few strands of white. Obviously, driving the Black Mountain Seal with insufficient strength had caused him no small sequelae. But at this critical moment, he had to stand up, even if it meant falling for good. Again driving the Black Mountain Seal, countless terrifying black silence, profound thunder spread across the void. Their terrifying power devoured all light, and the only thing that could contend with them was the law rune, flickering with golden brilliance. The collision of the two produced a terrifying ripple, shaking the void and making everyone sweat. Thankfully, this battle took place in the deep sky. Otherwise, the surrounding land of the Black Mountain sect for tens of thousands of miles would be completely destroyed. Even so, the fluctuations in the deep sky were extremely terrifying. The people of the Black Mountain sect dared not fly, and the various martial academy disciples and independent martial cultivators also dared not chase through the air, fighting through the mountains and wilds instead. Chapter 322, Chapter 322, Chapter 194, The Fall of the Black Sect, Chapter 322, Chapter 194, The Fall of the Black Sect B0XN0VL, CM Master, Arrival of the Supreme Elder _ 2. Despite this, the golden runes and black, profound thunder unintentionally fell from the depths of the sky, causing mountains to explode and many people to get caught in the aftermath, ultimately falling to their deaths. You fought me to this extent even as a half-step rune seed realm martial artist, and even if you relied on the treasure, it's still worthy of pride. Wei Zongqing looked at the white-haired Black Mountain Sect master in the distance and spoke in a deep voice. At this time, the opponent's vitality had already been exhausted, visibly aging. Forcibly driving the Black Mountain Seal had consumed more than half of his lifespan, and his life was nearing its end. I haven't reached my limit yet. The Black Mountain Sect master's figure charged up once again. All of the life force in his body was injected into the Black Mountain Seal. The black, profound thunder in the depths of the sky crackled and rolled like a tidal wave. It's just futile struggling. 79 law runes appeared again around Wei Zongqing, each one almost transforming into a vast golden ocean, together encircling the black, profound thunder. For a time, disastrous black thunderclouds burst in the depths of the sky, creating powerful fluctuations. The golden runes interwoven into a vast scene seemed incredibly brilliant, but the oppressive aura they released made people tremble with fear. Gradually, the black thunder slowly subsided, and the depths of the sky returned to calm. A golden light fell like a meteor. Finally, Wei Zongqing emerged from the depths of the sky, with golden runes surrounding him. His left hand held a black seal resembling a mountain, and his right hand held a golden longsword. The Black Mountain Sect master has been killed by me, and their sect's treasure has fallen into my hands. All demon extermination guards, martial academy disciples, and martial artists, listen to my command. Attack the Black Mountain Sect with full force, and don't let any of them escape. Kill all the demon extermination guards, martial academy disciples, and martial artists showed no hesitation. They split into more than 10 groups, chasing and killing the fleeing Black Mountain Sect disciples. This bloody battle was extraordinarily brutal. Amidst the bombardment of true origin, severed limbs flew through the air and blood splattered everywhere. Life seemed incredibly fragile in this moment. Elder, senior brother, junior sister, the many disciples of the Black Mountain Sect roared in grief, seeing their fellow sect members fall before their very eyes. Even the most hardened of men couldn't help but shed tears. Moreover, these elders, senior brothers, and senior sisters were all trying to protect them, risking their lives to block the powerful enemies. Go this way. Another powerful Black Mountain Sect elder appeared, standing in front of the disciples to guard them as they fled. He activated his true origin, killing the advancing demon extermination guards and independent martial cultivators, blocking others from catching up while allowing the disciples to escape quickly. Junior brothers, this person is at least at the middle stage of the golden body realm. We should not be reckless. Xiao Guyun cautioned the disciples of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy as they flew behind him. Bai Haoshuan, Bailey Yi, and the others nodded. With their current strength, killing some Black Mountain sect disciples in the transforming origin realm was manageable, but they wouldn't stand a chance against a golden body realm expert. You all continue chasing. This person is mine. At this moment, Lu Yun's figure appeared before them. Yes, Saint Child. Xiao Guyun, and the others passed by Lu Yun and continued chasing ahead. Cold light burst in the eyes of the Black Mountain sect elder as he looked at Lu Yun, just a later stage origin fluid realm cultivator. You think you can stop me? Even so, he did not pay attention to Lu Yun. Instead, he brazenly summoned the power of the earth and sky, transforming it into a giant hand, reaching out to grab Xiao Guyun and the others. Seeing this, Lu Yun remained indifferent. With a thought, the golden-edged sword Fang flew out, transforming into a giant golden sword, tearing apart the elder's giant hand. At the same time, a shimmering golden halo fell from the void, as if forged of gold. It suddenly magnified, like a golden world, suppressing the elder. Intense fear rose in the elder's heart as the 100 refined Vajra ring filled his vision. Forcing himself to suppress the impulse to flee, he hurriedly drove his yuan high, unleashing a torrent of true origin. However, under the terrifying suppressive power, he had no strength to resist. Unsurprisingly, this mid-stage golden body, realm elder of the Black Mountain sect, was directly killed by Lu Yun using the 100 refined Vajra ring. Looking at the corpse on the ground, which was covered in golden blood, Lu Yun's deep gaze carried a touch of emotion. This 100 refined Vajra ring is indeed extremely powerful. Even the body of a golden body realm expert can't withstand its suppressing power. He discovered that the two treasures he had obtained from the golden Ho Beast, the golden-edged sword Fang, and 100 refined Vajra ring all possessed incredible power. Frankly, he originally thought that these two treasures were, at best, equivalent to mysterious instruments. But now, it was far from as simple as he thought. This Black Mountain sect elder was a mid-stage golden body realm expert, contributing 800 demon extermination points to Lu Yun, adding the dozens of transforming origin realm and origin fluid realm disciples he killed earlier, along with an early-stage golden body realm elder. Lu Yun now had more than 1,500 demon extermination points. Killing a late-stage golden body realm 100 sect expert gives me 1,600 demon extermination points. It seems that killing all these people still isn't as rewarding as killing a late-stage golden body realm. Lu Yun muttered to himself, and then quickly shook his head. Although his strength was incredible, he could easily kill ordinary golden body realm experts. However, the Black Mountain sect didn't have that many golden body realm experts, and their enemies wouldn't just wait to be killed by him. Now that the people of the Black Mountain sect have either escaped or died, pursuing them wouldn't yield much. Lu Yun's eyes flickered, and after pondering for a moment, he made a decision. As the Black Mountain sect disciples were suddenly attacked, there must be a lot of resources left behind in the sect. While the war was still ongoing, he should hurry and seize them. If he was lucky, this extra loot would far exceed what he would gain from chasing down the Black Mountain sect disciples. On the way back, Lu Yun found that there were quite a few people who had the same idea as him. Moreover, most of them were independent martial cultivators. Obviously, compared to martial academy disciples, these independent martial cultivators were more skilled and experienced in such matters, and they were even faster than Lu Yun. Lu Yun glanced at the spirit field beside him, which only contained low-grade spirit herbs that could be used at most to refine first- and second-grade pills. Seeing the severe damage, Lu Yun didn't look much further, sped up, and rushed toward the main peak of the Black Mountain sect. Once the war was over, no one would be allowed to loot resources, so Lu Yun had to hasten his pace. The main peak's array had already been destroyed, with many independent martial cultivators shuttling through it. It was unknown if there were any gains. Just as Lu Yun was annoyed by his own hesitation, he suddenly sensed a terrifying aura rapidly approaching at a horrifying speed in the void. Sensing the vast aura, Lu Yun's expression changed. The incoming person might be infinitely close to the rune seed realm. At present, his limit strength was at most to contend with peak golden body realm martial artists. If he encountered a stronger opponent, he would have almost no chance of winning. Without much thought, he immediately used Instant Horizon and quickly disappeared from the main peak. Just a few breaths after he left, a burly figure arrived at the main peak from the back mountain amidst the space shaking. Seeing the destroyed palace on the main peak and numerous martial artists shuttling through it, wantonly harvesting resources, extreme coldness filled the pale golden eyes. Damn it! It's really damn it! He hadn't expected that he would only be in a life and death seclusion for a short time, and when he reappeared, this was the scene he saw, with the sect protection array broken, the spirit field destroyed, ruins everywhere, and not a single living sect disciple in sight. Only corpses. It was clear how furious this Black Mountain sect expert was. Immediately after, a series of miserable screams resounded. Before long, the blood on the main peak flowed into a river. Hundreds of miles away, Lu Yun felt relieved as he sensed the shocking fluctuations behind him. Thanks to his quick escape, he wouldn't have to face that powerful opponent who could have left him seriously injured even if he didn't die. Chapter 323, Chapter 323, Chapter 195:1.3 Thunder Tribulation, Chapter 323, Chapter 195:1-3 Thunder Tribulation, B0XN0VL. CM within the Black Mountain sect, the cries of battle shook the sky. All the independent martial cultivators were surging forward, wanting to take advantage of this rare opportunity to seize a fortune of their own. The 3 halls and 9 peaks of the Black Mountain sect, along with various spirit fields and the book collection pavilion, were their primary targets, making the scene extremely lively. The scripture repository is empty. It has been moved long ago. Let us pursue them. Their high-ranking figures and elite disciples must have cultivation techniques on them. A late-origin, fluid, realm-independent martial cultivator shouted his order. There were many martial artists around him, each with varying degrees of success. Some even managed to empty the remaining book collection of Black Mountain sect. After everything was looted, they set fire to the spirit fields and buildings. In an instant, smoky flames were everywhere. Such audacity! A stout elder, seeing the ruinous state of the peaks, had his eyes turning red. His body was entwined with golden runes and rushed into the crowd of martial artists. Boom! An intense green light consisting of runes flew out. They were extraordinarily dense, crashed into the crowd with a loud rumble. Those independent martial cultivators from all parts of Ling province who showed greedy expressions immediately screamed in pain. Soon after, the bodies of dozens of martial artists exploded. With just one strike, the area was cleared. All martial artists were lying on the ground with their bodies shattered, none of them intact. This old fellow is terrifying. Let's fight together and kill him. One of the independent martial cultivator in the golden body realm yelled. With a boom, the stout elder swept across the air. A green light made up of runes chopped down, and the golden body realm cultivator immediately blew up into a bloody rain, shocking everyone present. It's the supreme elder, "Supreme Elder has come out," exclaimed the disciples of the Black Mountain sect, their faces filled with excitement at the sight of this powerful and domineering elder. "Jiang-Ku, hasn't he transcended the Thunder Tribulation yet?" Chiya recognized the Supreme Elder of the Black Mountain sect the moment he saw him. The most potent forces of the Black Mountain sect were the Supreme Elder and the Sect Master. Both were at the half-step rune seed realm. According to the information he obtained, Jiang-Ku stopped managing the sect 5 years ago and started his life and death seclusion. What they referred to as the life and death seclusion was the Thunder Tribulation for advancing to the rune seed realm. After a golden body realm cultivator condenses rune seeds, they reach the pseudo-rune seed realm, also known as the half-step rune seed realm. Only after experiencing the baptism of Thunder Tribulation can one formally advance to the rune seed realm. However, less than 30% of those who survive the Thunder Tribulation can advance to the rune seed realm. Most people die under the tribulation. Because the Thunder Tribulation of the rune seed realm was so terrifying, many martial artists chose to halt at the half-step rune seed realm, not daring to trigger the Thunder Tribulation recklessly. Jiang-Ku, who had been in the half-step rune seed realm for decades, started preparing for the tribulation when the sect master of Black Mountain sect had condensed his rune seeds and had reached the half-step rune seed realm, gaining the ability to use the sect's treasure, the Black Mountain seal. However, judging from his current state, it seems like he has not yet finished transcending the tribulation. No, it should be that he is getting ready to face the Thunder Tribulation now. Suichioya looked up at the sky. As expected, the sky was suddenly darkened by gathering clouds, turning pitch black. Not good. He has already triggered the Thunder Tribulation. Suikiwai's face changed slightly, and he immediately withdrew. Although he could extinguish the Thunder Tribulation associated with the advancement to the rune seed realm with a single hand at his peak strength, he was currently far from his peak and absolutely couldn't afford to get involved. Those who dare to move against the Black Mountain sect must pay the price in blood. The Supreme Elder of the Black Mountain sect roared, heading forward with the dense black clouds above him. Booming! Within the dark clouds, thunders were brewing, implying a threat of unimaginable scale. Not good. Whether it was the Demon Suppression Army, the people from the Martial Academy, or the independent martial cultivators, their faces turned pale with terror. No one imagined that someone would trigger the Thunder Tribulation at this time, which was extremely disadvantageous to them. Anyone within the range of the Thunder Tribulation, regardless of who they were, would be targeted. Moreover, the more people there are, the more terrifying the Thunder Tribulation becomes. That's why, generally, martial artists choose a sparsely populated place when transcending tribulations. Firstly, to avoid any disturbances, and secondly, to keep the power of the Thunder Tribulation under control. But right now, the opponent completely ignored the taboos of transcending a tribulation and forcefully triggered the Thunder Tribulation. It was clear that he was risking his life. Facing such a powerful and fearless person, no one dared to provoke him, so they all fled. Supreme Elder. Upon seeing Jiang-Ku pushing towards the Thunder Tribulation, the disciples of Black Mountain sect felt both moved and helpless. If they were not careful, even they would be dragged into the Thunder Tribulation and never return. However, given the current situation where they were surrounded and blocked by the Demon Suppression Army everywhere, wanting to forcefully break through, triggering the Thunder Tribulation seemed to be the best method. Fight! Let's break through together. Even if it costs me my life, I will get you all out, Jiang-Ku roared, completely ignoring the looming Thunder Tribulation. General Wei, what should we do now? Among the Demon Suppression Army, a black-rank demon extermination general asked Wei Zongqing. Wei Zongqing stood high in the sky, looking down at everything below, his face calm. Although the 1 to 3 thunder tribulation is the weakest form of thunder tribulation, I dare not get involved, or else it would be hard to escape. He had only recently become an Earth-rank demon extermination envoy. Compared to the other envoys, his strength was relatively not that great. He was not qualified to face the 1 to 3 thunder tribulation for advancing to the rune seed realm. If you wish to be unaffected by the 1 to 3 thunder tribulation, only the top Earth-rank demon extermination generals or heavenly level demon extermination generals would be capable. Chapter 324, Chapter 324, Chapter 195:1.3 Thunder Tribulation _2, Chapter 324, Chapter 195:1-3 Thunder Tribulation _2 B0XN0VL. CM beneath the Army Commander and Vice Commander of the Demon Suppression Army, there are 4 levels of Demon Extermination Generals: Heavenly, Earth, Black, and Yellow ranks, and the rest are Demon Extermination Guards. Among them, the Heavenly level Demon Extermination Generals are the strongest, with the weakest being in the Golden Core realm. Some are even at the peak of the Golden Core realm, only a step away from becoming a celestial human. The Earth-rank Demon Extermination Generals have strengths ranging from the early to peak stages of the Rune Seed realm. Black-rank Demon Extermination Generals have strengths ranging from the early to peak stages of the Golden Body realm. The Black-rank Demon Extermination General standing beside Wei Zongqing was at the peak of the Golden Body realm. He was one of the strongest Demon Extermination Generals under Wei Zongqing's command, and his name was Shangtsang. Meanwhile, Wei Zongqing was currently only at the early stage of the Rune Seed realm, having not long ago become an Earth-rank Demon Extermination General. However, he had cultivated a near top-grade Rune Seed, giving him a strength comparable to the mid-Rune Seed realm. Among the numerous Demon Extermination Generals, he was by no means weak. We do not need to push them too hard. After the Thunder Tribulation, we will pursue and kill them. Wei Zongqing contemplated for a moment and gave his order. Now the sect protection array of the Black Mountain sect was broken, the sect master was killed by him, and the sect treasure, Black Mountain Seal, had fallen into his hands. What remained were merely the few stray cats and dogs of the Black Mountain sect, aside from the fearless Supreme Elder. Even if these escaped, it wouldn't be much of a problem. For this reason, he did not want to put too much pressure on them, to avoid causing excessive losses to the Demon Suppression Army under his command. Upon seeing the enemy retreat and clear a path for the people of the Black Mountain sect, a ruthless smile spread across Jiang Ku's old face. Some of the martial artists who did not manage to escape in time were dragged into the Thunder Tribulation, causing the range of his 1 to 3 Thunder Tribulation to expand again. The black clouds in the sky became denser, and the developing power of the Thunder Tribulation increased further. Boom! At the moment when the pitch-black clouds collided completely, a thunderous sound was heard, and a massive lightning bolt fell like a mountain, striking the ground. Ah, the martial artists who were drawn into the Thunder Tribulation screamed and evaded with all their strength, but no matter whether their realms were the transforming origin fluid, or gold body, their speed was no match for the lightning bolts, especially those in the Thunder Tribulation with consciousness. In just one encounter, those martial artists who were drawn into it had their bodies blown to pieces, their bright red blood dyeing the world a bloody red. Jiang Ku, the one who triggered the Thunder Tribulation, received the most terrifying lightning. The thick, horrifying lightning fell straight from the sky, ruthlessly striking him. This lightning could not be dodged. It completely enclosed him. The heavy electric energy filled the world, allowing people far away to feel its terrifying power. Boom! The purple lightning fell, and its extraordinary power exploded, instantly smiting Jiang Ku's gold body into a bloody mess. Golden blood dripped from the air, staining the mountain peak golden. From a distance, Lu Yun watched this scene, his heart pounding. At the same time, he had a premonition that if he could withstand just one of these terrifying lightning strikes, his thunderbolt intent would undergo a qualitative improvement. However, this was the 1 to 3 thunder tribulation one had to withstand in order to advance to the Rune Seed realm. Not only was there one bolt of lightning, but he would also not be able to withstand the stronger and more terrifying second and third lightning strikes. The thunder tribulation during the advancement to the Rune Seed realm is known as the 1 to 3 thunder tribulation, with 3 different intensities of lightning strikes. The first lightning strike is the weakest and most half-step Rune Seed realm martial artists can resist it with their sturdy gold body. The power of the second lightning strike is slightly stronger, roughly twice that of the first. Half of those who undergo the tribulation can persist through it. The third lightning strike is the most terrifying, twice as powerful as the second. Almost all martial artists who advance to the Rune Seed realm fall during this final lightning strike. Now, even with the first lightning strike, Lu Yun did not feel very confident, because the 2 gold body realm powerhouses who were accidentally drawn in could not withstand the bombardment of the first lightning strike and died instantly on the spot. Although he was not at the gold body realm or the peak of the gold body, his realm was merely at the origin fluid. His body had not yet completed its transformation, and he was still far from the strength of a true peak gold body realm powerhouse. Once this man has passed his tribulation, this battle for the destruction of the Black Mountain sect will most likely officially end. I must seize this time to thoroughly scavenge for resources. Lu Yun murmured to himself and secretly left. Jiang Ku, having been immersed in the half-step Rune Seed realm for many years, managed to withstand it all even though many martial artists were swept up in the 1 to 3 thunder tribulation, amplifying its intensity significantly. At this point, despite being severely injured and bleeding golden blood, his aura had become even stronger. Every time he survived a thunder tribulation, his body would grow stronger due to the tribulation's blessing. After the Rune Seed absorbed the tribulation power, it would become more refined. However, the damage inflicted on the body by the tribulation power is irreversible, indicating that Jiang Ku will face the second thunder tribulation with his broken body. General Wei, do you think this Supreme Elder from Black Mountain Sect can successfully cross the tribulation? Earthrank Demon Extermination General Shang Tsung asked with some concern. If their adversary manages to advance to the Rune Seed realm, it may be difficult for them to stop him. If he does achieve the state of Rune Seed realm and chooses to escape rather than fight, it would be nearly impossible to kill him without overwhelming power. No worries. Even if he survives the first thunder tribulation, he may not weather the second. Not to mention, the third thunder tribulation is far more formidable than the previous 2, Wei Zongqing said with a calm demeanor, showing no concern. Even if Jiang Ku miraculously survives all 3 thunder tribulations, he would be heavily injured and surrounded by many people with no chance of escape. Boom! The world was filled with intense brightness, and nothing could be seen. This was the second thunder tribulation brewing, thunderbolts colliding in the black cloud sea, unleashing unparalleled power. The momentum was so great that it shook the void, causing everyone to tremble involuntarily and run for their lives. Anyone could tell just how powerful and terrifying this thunder tribulation was. Even the strongest combatant in the Rune Seed realm would likely only possess comparable power. A figure dashed out from the middle, the Supreme Elder of the Black Mountain Sect. He was glowing all over, with golden runes appearing all over his body, forming a pair of golden wings. With a light shake, the wings split the sky and earth. Golden rune wings. Wei Zongqing was taken aback upon seeing this. The thunderbolts falling from the sky were almost half blocked by his wings. Hold back. Jiang-Ku roared, his gold-colored wings fluttering and wrapped in countless runes, crackling as they resisted the thunderbolts from the sky, fiercely absorbing the tribulation power within them. This guy has actually fused the rune seed with his physical body. He's forcefully pursuing the path of physical enlightenment. Wei Zongqing was slightly surprised. Physical enlightenment is the complete fusion of the rune seed realm with the body, which signifies that after advancing to the rune seed realm, there are no further prospects for progress. However, this approach has one advantage. It greatly strengthens the physical body, thereby significantly increasing the likelihood of surviving the 1 to 3 thunder tribulation. No wonder he appeared sturdy and strong at first glance, with a powerful body and an abundance of vitality. Turns out he has embarked on the path of physical enlightenment. Wei Zongqing glanced at the 3 people next to him: Earth-rank Demon Extermination General Shang Tsung, Elder Lei Kang from the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, and Elder Tan Chen from the South Sun Martial Academy. He said, "This person has fused the rune seed with his body, pursuing physical enlightenment. There is a certain chance that he may survive the thunder tribulation. Once the thunder tribulation has ended, I will deliver a fatal blow to him. You 3, prepare for defense. At no cost should he manage to escape. If a combatant in the rune seed realm manages to escape, then their mission to exterminate the Black Mountain sect would have failed by half. He absolutely would not allow this outcome to occur." All right. After exchanging a glance, Shang Tsung, Lei Kang, and Tan Chen moved to occupy 3 different directions to thoroughly block Jiang Ku's escape routes. Meanwhile, Wei Zongqing's golden eyes were fixed intently on Jiang Ku amidst the thunder tribulation. At this moment, Jiang Ku had survived the second thunder tribulation. The injuries to his flesh became even graver, but his power had become even more terrifying. The pair of wings, composed of golden runes that appeared on his body, became more solid after absorbing the tribulation power. Rumble! In the sky above, the more terrifying tribulation cloud gathered, causing rolling thunder. "I hope you don't die under this thunder tribulation," Wei Zongqing murmured softly. A silver-white spear materialized from the void behind him. Chapter 325. Chapter 325. Chapter 196. Destruction of Black Mountain Sect. 80 Zhang Yuan Si. Chapter 325. Chapter 196. Destruction of Black Mountain Sect. 80 Zhang Yuan CB0XN0VL. CM killing a half-step rune seed realm and killing a genuine rune seed realm results in a vast difference in the acquired demon extermination points. However, Jiang Ku, the supreme elder of the Black Mountain sect, used his own rune seed as a medium, severed his future prospects, and transformed it into a divine ability, absorbing the power of thunder tribulation to strengthen himself. After the tribulation has ended, even if his flesh has not yet healed, he possesses astonishing battle strength and must be prevented from escaping. Even I couldn't pass through such thunder tribulation, but if it was Lei Kang raised his head, looking at the dark, rolling clouds in the sky, his face solemn. At the peak of the golden body realm, cultivators can refine their bodies to the limit, attract the laws of heaven and earth, begin engraving runes, and eventually condense rune seeds. After experiencing the baptism of thunder tribulation, they can advance to the genuine rune seed realm. Now, he has already engraved more than 70 runes, which is his limit. More than 70 runes can form a mid-level rune seed and have good foundation and prospect of achieving a golden core. However, condensing runes into rune seeds is not that simple, and he is currently stuck at this point. The most dreaded thing for martial artists condensing rune seeds is the thunder tribulation. But for them, martial artists at the peak of the golden body realm, the most challenging part is condensing rune seeds. Only by condensing rune seeds can they use the law runes and control the power of heaven and earth. At this moment, the thunder tribulation brewing within the dark clouds finally transformed into a torrent of lightning and struck down. The terrifying tribulation power struck fear and horror into everyone's hearts. Jiang Ku stood on the mountain peak, looking up at the void, his tall body covered in blood. A pair of golden wings flickered, with runes radiating divine light. The lightning torrent of the tribulation thunder came crashing down directly. For a moment, Jiang Ku's body trembled, and the golden rune wings spread out, taking on countless lightning, and the rolling thunder like a reversed heavenly river carried an overwhelming force that suppressed heaven and earth. Jiang Ku was like a flat boat in the vast ocean, barely holding on with the wings formed by condensing rune seeds. Shaken and swaying, but never falling. Boom! The mountains beneath his feet trembled crazily as if they were about to completely collapse, and countless thunder tribulation currents overflowed. The horrifying power stirred fear in the Morijin demon suppression army and the other martial artists, forcing them to continue retreating. If they were not careful and got affected by the thunder tribulation, they would be wiped out. Thousands of thunder tribulations, forge my immortal gold body. As the thunder tribulation roared down, Jiang Ku wasn't defeated, but instead seemed even more spirited. His golden wings were exceptionally solid, the runes dazzling and as vast as the sea. This was the reason he was willing to sever his future and merge his rune seed with his body. What if he could overcome the thunder tribulation and remain in the early stage of the rune seed realm for the rest of his life? As long as he survived the thunder tribulation, not only would his strength surge, but he could also extend his lifespan by 100 years, which was not impossible. Even if you can survive the thunder tribulation, can you survive the killing tribulation before you right now? Wei Zongqing stood silently in the void, and the silver-white lance behind him circulated its light, emitting an immense and powerful aura. As soon as the thunder tribulation ended, he would strike with the might of thunder and kill the enemy. Disperse! Jiang Ku spread his wings, and the vast sea of runes flowed, causing the earth to tremble, the thunder reversed, and the pitch-black clouds of tribulation receded. A ray of sunlight returned, and the earth was finally restored to its former brightness. Once I survive the thunder tribulation, from this moment, I will be in the rune seed realm. Jiang Ku's messy hair flared, and he soared into the sky. His boundless power surged, stirring up a storm, shaking and swaying the void without stopping. Ha ha ha, after more than 800 years, my Black Mountain sect finally has a rune seed realm powerhouse, and from now on, we will no longer be at the mercy of others. He cried excitedly, looking up at the sky. A pair of golden wings spread out, releasing a vast number of runes. Kill! Wei Zongqing's eyes sharpened, and the terrifying silver-white lance behind him transformed into a streak of light that pierced through the heavens and earth, striking down sideways. Feeling the terrifying crisis above his head, Jiang Ku moved horizontally with an almost incredible speed. A pair of golden wings swirled, engulfed by countless runes. With a puff, the lance pierced through the runes, penetrated the golden wings, and fell heavily onto a mountain peak. The unparalleled power erupted, causing the sky to split, the earth to shatter, and the rivers to cascade. Although Jiang Ku's body appeared broken, and there was a huge scar on his golden wings, his spirit remained high, and his eyes were bright. Today, I have already advanced to the rune seed realm, and you should not try to stop me. With a light whistle, he suddenly turned around, his wings spread, attempting to ride the clouds and escape from the Black Mountain sect. Humph, want to escape? No way. Wei Zongqing snorted coldly. With a wave of his hand, ripples appeared in the void behind him. More than 10 silver-white lances recondensed and formed, and under his control, they transformed into more than 10 streaks of light, stabbing forward. The silver-white light was like an ocean, and the golden runes surged chaotically, drowning the sky. The metallic killing intent proliferated, sealing off this area of heaven and earth with the killing array. No one can stop me. Jiangku's golden eyes revealed a fierce light. He spread his wings, and a shimmering golden sea of runes poured out, cutting through heaven and earth, severing everything, breaking the silver-white lances, and bursting through the killing array. However, to his surprise, a golden rain of light fell, disturbing the sky and earth, and more silver-white lances pierced through the void, forming an even more horrifying, peerless killing array. Jiangku knew that his chances of escaping today were extremely slim, but he would never give up. The Black Mountain sect had waited more than 800 years before having another rune seed realm powerhouse. If he fell here, he would not only betray the sect's hundreds of years of hiding, but also his own 200 years of cultivation.